we should be live. So, hello, my name is Catalyst. I'm just gonna start the timer because there's some boring stuff at the start. Thank you, thank you. Welcome at this late night hour, at least in Europe, that is. And welcome to the run of The Last of Us, NG plus any percent. I'm the Ranikata, and we're gonna have some fun time together, I hope. Sounded weird, but so let's get straight into it. So Last of Us is a AAA game released by Naughty Dog in 2013. Most of y'all might have heard of it because it's like in a lot of the lists that are like top 10 games of all time. Like Last of Us will usually be there. So it was released in 2013 for the PS3, which was the last year of PS3's existence. And then it was remastered in 2014 for the PS4 because Sony wanted to make a lot of money, and they did.
What was that?
The biggest difference is 30 versus 60 FPS, so I'm running at smooth 60 frame rate per second right now, which makes a huge difference for aiming and combat in general. If you don't know what this game is about, then basically right now we're in Texas playing as Sarah. This guy is Joel, he's the main character of the game.
Are you okay?
And we're going to be witnessing a zombie apocalypse, or in particular the start of a zombie apocalypse and how everything goes underway. Right now I'm just kind of not going to do anything. Like I can literally like put away the controller, take my bottle of water and just chill, because that's the intro, and we're going to be watching some cutscenes for a bit. But I'm going to try to make it a bit more interesting and talk about the game in the meanwhile. So yeah, here you're gonna see the first zombie of the game.
Jimmy, I am warning you. No!
And he's dead. It was a nice zombie, but he's over now. And yeah, that was Jimmy. That was our neighbor. And that was the first type of a zombie that we will encounter in this game, which is called the runner. It's like your classic type of a zombie that just bites people because reasons. There's going to be more types of zombies, but I'm going to talk about them a little bit later on. Right now we get introduced to the third character. His name is Tommy, and he's our brother, or Joel's brother. The girl is Sarah. And you can see them talking about like what's actually like happening right now. Joel is a carpenter, by the way, as you can tell by the car. As I said, living in Texas.
Can we hear us on the radio?
Yeah, sure thing.
But every time I reset, I don't run the game that much anymore, fortunately, I should say, but every time you would reset, you have to go through an intro where you have a 6-minute cutscene, or like interactive cutscene here at the start in the car. So it would be always a good time to like chill and like get something to drink, or I used to do the dishes in the meanwhile and whatnot. So now I'm gonna talk a little bit about the category itself. So we're playing on easy because it's the fastest difficulty you can complete the game in. It makes a lot of stuff easy, needless to say. What's more interesting is NG plus any percent. So any percent is a term that most of you will be familiar with. If not, that means you can complete the game any means necessary, like just go from the start to finish as fast as possible. And NG Plus stands for New Game Plus, which some of the games allow you to basically replay them with the upgrades that you collected in the previous playthrough, and you can use them from the start in the next playthrough. So that's what we are doing. There's 3 types of upgrades. There's weapon upgrades, there's character upgrades, and then there's manual pages. So weapon upgrades are pretty straightforward. For every weapon there's different set of upgrades that increase like bullet penetration, damage dealt, recoil, fire rate, reload speed, stuff like that. For character upgrades, there are 6 of them. You have extra health, which is quite useful in certain situations where you have to just YOLO through somewhere and take a lot of damage. Then there's no weapon sway, which helps with aiming, because everything that I'm going to be doing is going to be manually aimed. Then you have increased listening distance, which is absolutely useless. So that's 3. Then you have faster crafting, faster healing. And I'm forgetting the 6th one. It's probably not very important. So that guy is pretty damn smart. Like you have a traffic jam of like 70 cars, and it's just like What's happening? He is not the smartest NPC in the intro, though. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna show you someone a little bit smarter. You can also like turn around and see signs disappearing in the distance and shirts changing colors and whatnot. But as I was saying, there's manual pages which allow you to upgrade your tools. So I'm gonna have like different things throughout the game. So watch this NPC to my right, like that guy's the MVP. I can't see them, they can't see me. Yeah, so the manual pages are just gonna like increase radius and duration of Molotovs and similar stuff like that. They're actually really, really useful and make, for example, Molotovs really, really good. So as you can see, we got through this cutscene. It didn't feel that long, right? There's gonna be a lot of cutscenes in the game, but there's also a lot of speed tech and a lot of cool glitches that I'm gonna be abusing to go fast. So you guys don't have to worry that you're gonna be watching a movie right now. Like, there's always something to talk about in this game because there's just so many little things. Like, the game is really long, but at this point, this category is so optimized that every single second matters. Alright, so we're gonna go through the intro. Basically, the NPCs and their movement heal is absolutely random every time. There's just one thing that I'm trying to do, and that's I'm getting Tommy to boost me. He's one of the 2 NPCs in the game that can actually boost me. And basically, if I'm in front of Tommy at some point, the game is gonna give him more movement speed, because he needs to get in front of me. And if I'm able to just get stuck in front of him, he's gonna like make me go quicker. So I missed this boost, that's fine, that one's just minimal. You can already see that I'm getting blocked by some people, but like, whatever. The third boost is the most important one, really. Where is Tommy? He should be behind me, but he's not. Whatever, I guess. Yeah, this is like a really bad intro. You see me getting blocked a lot. Yeah, there's nothing I could have done here. So you see him going really fast there, and now he stops. And he needs to get to his designated position, and then he will like have a line of dialogue, and then you can continue. But if I'm still in front of him, the game will still keep on boosting him. Now he's gonna get to the designated position a little bit sooner. But yeah, this was like, I couldn't really do anything here. There's one more boost that I can do here, however. So I'm gonna try to go for that, but let's see how it goes.
Damn it. We're almost there, baby.
Okay, so you can see him boosting me right now. Okay, this is the tricky part, and yeah, I messed it up, but that's like, I lost like a second or something. It really doesn't matter in a marathon run. So basically the source of this outbreak is actually inspired in real life, because in real life there's a fungus that attacks or parasites on insects and takes over their neural system. And basically in this game there's a fungus developed, or not developed, you don't really know the origin of it, but there's somehow some kind of a fungus that does the same thing to humans. So the zombies in this game are a little bit different than in most other zombie-type mediums. So you saw me there just skip a movie cutscene and then skip or restart checkpoints. Usually when there's a in-game cutscene after a CGI cutscene, a checkpoint restart will be able to skip it. So that's a thing I'm gonna be using multiple times throughout the run. But yeah, as I was saying, the zombies here are a little bit different because they're not like undead. They're basically alive. You don't have to destroy the brain to kill them. They're just being like controlled by the fungus. Anyway, 20 years forwards, right now we're in Boston, Massachusetts, or what is left of it. And we are introduced to another character, which is Tess, our compadre, amigo, whatever you want to call her, just our companion. And we've become a professional smuggler. So basically, like the official areas, like cities and quarantine zones, are being controlled by the military. And obviously that means there's like a lot of contraband and stuff. So we basically smuggle stuff out of the city and into the city and get paid for it. Usually the payment is not money, but it's ration tickets. So you get paid food or clothes or whatever, I would imagine. So the situation right now is that like we had our guns stolen by a certain guy called Robert. So we're trying to visit a friend, Robert, and try to get the guns back. But this happens. So they call, like, you know, for some Fireflies. So Fireflies is basically like kind of an anarchistic group that goes against the military, but they're not really anarchistic. They have no, they own like science labs, and they do their own research and stuff like that. They just don't really agree with the way military handles stuff.
Catch yourself up, all right?
So right now I'm gonna actually have to heal myself, and this is where the first upgrade already comes into play. Like I heal super fast, and that will allow me to get in front of Tess very easily, because I walk a little bit faster than she does. And on new game you can still get in front of her, but it's a hell of a lot trickier. Here I just overtake her easily
Hey, how's the east tunnel looking?
and save a little bit of time thanks to that.
No patrols. And where are you off to?
Gonna pay Robert a visit?
You too?
Who else is there?
So yeah, apart from Fireflies, there's obviously zombies as the third enemy type, and the fourth enemy type are the so-called hunters, which are basically people that are not Fireflies and they don't live in the quarantine zones. They basically do their own stuff. They ambush so-called tourists, which are going from one quarantine zone to another, and that's about it for the enemies in this game actually.
Looking for Robert?
So again, I'm gonna be abusing a checkpoint restart mechanic. It's a thing that's frequent in all of the Naughty Dog games, basically. It's in Jack 2 and 3. It's in Uncharted. It's in Last of Us. So you saw me get like a forward warp thanks to that. And I'm gonna be doing, like, throughout the run, I'm gonna be really doing some very, very miniature things. Like I'm standing in a specific spot to
Joel, give me a hand with this.
just, when I press the prompt to move this thing, Joel just immediately grabs it and moves it instead of having to go to a designated position.
Take it easy out there.
Like over the course of the run, it really adds up. Like it saves like, I don't know, half a second, but you do that 10 times and all of a sudden you have 5 seconds saved, right?
You need to watch me to throw away down here. Better be light.
So here I'm gonna try to get in front of Tess. I got stuck. Well, that was kind of bad, but again, I lost like a second, so it's no big deal in a marathon run.
Not a lot of ammo.
Your shots count.
So here I have to reload, otherwise like the game will not continue. And then again, I'm gonna stand in a specific position to get the fastest, like, not animation, but make sure that Joel doesn't move before boosting Tess.
All right, Texas. Boost me up.
And then again, I'm not, like, for most prompts I'm gonna be doing that, but there's gonna be exceptions where I just run towards like doors or something and then mash.
Come on.
Because the game will teleport me to that position instead of having me walk there. Alright, so coming up is going to be a little bit of a special set of movement. First I'm going to crouch, then I'm going to uncrouch, vault the bar, or whatever it is, and then crouch again. So we crouch, uncrouch, vault, crouch, and then I'm going to start jogging. So there's 5 different speeds of movement in this game. The slowest one is walking, like when the game just forces you to walk. That sucks, like you saw in the hallways before.
Got it.
Then you have
Bring it over.
slow jog, which, like, if you have slow or fast jog, depends on where you are in the game. Like the game just decides what you have. So then there's fast jog. What are you doing, bro? That's not what I meant to do. And one thing I forgot is crouch walk, so that's why I was Can you put the ladder on the wall? That's interesting. Thank you. Well, ladder just outplayed me. Damn.
Lady, you must be thinking of someone else.
And ladder checkpoint restart. So as I was saying, there's walking, then there's crouch walking, so if I'm able to crouch when I'm forced to walk, it's actually faster. And then there's slow, and then fast jog, and then there's sprint. But you can only sprint in combat.
Once we get our merchandise back, it should be easy to unload. Hold up.
So here again, I'm gonna crouch because I would be forced to walk while I'm putting the mask on, but I have to actually crouch before the animation, otherwise it will not allow me to do it.
Stay alert.
I should be able to fit through here.
And come on, is gonna be the first fight. So the regular runners, the regular zombies, will take 3 shots from a pistol, like 3 body shots to kill, and 1 headshot from a pistol. So I have only 6 bullets for 3 enemies. So the optimal strat is to get, actually 5 bullets, I'm sorry. 5 bullets for, wait, no, I have 6, my bad, whatever. Yeah, I have 6 bullets for 3 enemies, but basically the premise of this is to get 2 headshots and then a 3-tap. Again, if I miss one of the headshots, it's not that big of a deal in a marathon run, but in a normal run it would basically be a reset, because then you're gonna have to punch them to death, and that's slow. So I'm gonna sneak up on this guy, and the second shot is like the one that's tricky. Okay, that was perfect. And then I got a little bit of a sprint. If I'm really lucky, I will get like a longer sprint animation, and that's because the enemies have different death animations, and some of them take longer than the others, and then the game still thinks that they're alive, so it allows you to sprint. Again, not that big of a deal, but basically this part of the game is probably the hardest because there's a lot of precise aiming you have to do and precise movement. And since it's at the start of the game, if you screw up, you don't hesitate to reset, really.
I got it.
Okay, now we're gonna encounter the first launch in the game, actually. So I'm gonna crouch under this and then I hold sprint and then fly. So basically, if I hold sprint while there's a collision box above me, Joel is gonna stand up on frame 1 and get stuck in that collision box, and that's gonna launch him. It's heavily dependent,
It's a bit
in like
heavy.
all cases except for one, it's heavily dependent on the angle, so you have to have the correct angle to be able to get a launch like that. And then when I was picking up the plank, I tried to always pick it up like in a certain spot to get the fastest animation. That goes for like any object like that, like for the ladder that I picked up, and also put down 3 times or whatever. For all of these objects that I'm going to be picking up or moving, I want to be standing in the correct position to get the fastest animation. So this was like a medium speed of opening doors. For some reason, NPCs and opening doors is like quite the funny story with this game, and later on in the game, there's actually like a place where you can lose up to 8 seconds to an NPC just not opening the doors. So then I shot 3 bullets out. You might be wondering why, right? So that's because of how ammo drops actually work in this game. So when you kill an enemy, the game checks if there's any ammo on the ground first, and then if there's like not, or if there's not enough, then the game checks how much ammo you have left in your guns and then decides the drop rate. The next fight will be consisting of 2 enemies, so the fastest way to kill them is 2 headshots. They're pretty easy to land. Watch me miss them, by the way. And I need one of the enemies to drop bullets. And like I have a 100% chance to drop them if I have just 2 bullets for 2 kills. Basically one of them will always drop the 6 or 8 bullets that I need. If they drop 8, I need to again shoot out 2 bullets for these drops to work out correctly in the next area. So well, now we got to the slums. This is how life in 2032 after a zombie apocalypse would look like, according to my boy, Neil Druckmann.
Who's that?
An old headache. Don't ask.
Do you
Does it-
maybe have some time for some donations?
Oh yeah, sure, go for it.
Alright. We've got a $10 donation from Roby XD. I've woken up way too early for this, but good luck, my friend. Just remember, don't be a monster, and love your caddy.
You went back to the
And a $5 donation from Smaflax. Giraffe percent, high 5%, please, Kappa. Good luck, Kappa.
Thank you guys, thank you for the donations, and thank you for staying up so late to watch. I really appreciate it. So now we get into this cutscene. So there's 3 dudes, and I said there's gonna be 2 enemies, so you can guess what happens.
Let us.
I'm also gonna take a quick sip.
head back if you know what's good for you.
Our beef isn't with you. We just want Robert. You don't want to do this.
Turn the fuck around.
So there's 3 more fights in the quarantine zone left.
Without Robert.
In the slums, we call them, or I call them slums 1, 2, and 3. This one should be the easiest one of them.
Fuck this.
But since I cannot miss, it might be a bit trickier.
Yeah.
I'll cover you. Get the angle on them.
Pay for that.
Okay, perfect. They actually see they dropped a lot of ammo, so both of them when both of them drop ammo, I don't have to shoot out bullets because I have enough bullets for the next 2 areas, basically. So yeah, that was pretty good. So far, this quarantine zone is pretty okayish. So the next fight is gonna be consisting of 5 enemies. No, of 4, but Tess kills one of them. Sometimes Tess can glitch out, and then she won't kill that enemy, and then you are in trouble. But basically what I want to do is I want to kill the enemies in such an order that the last guy in this area is going to drop a key for me to continue. And I want to manipulate it in such a way, well, if I didn't have 12 bullets, I would try to manipulate it in such a way that the last guy drops both ammo and the key, so I don't have to like go around and pick up the ammo. First though, I'm gonna go ahead and checkpoint restart. That's because I'm on the latest patch 1.09, because of one skip that on 1.0 is not possible. However, it makes certain encounters a bit random, but this checkpoint restart is gonna make it consistent. Hello? How was that not a headshot, by the way? Okay, now I'm very glad that I had the extra ammo, but now I only have 2 bullets, which is a little bit of a problem. It's actually not very good. Again, I'm gonna checkpoint restart to make this a bit better. Yeah, I have 2 bullets. How do I do this now? I'm just gonna punch him to death, I guess. It's gonna be slow, but like, what can I do? I messed up the last area a lot. So I wanna get his ammo, I wanna get his ammo. And then there's 2 more enemies in the next room. Control the aiming, by the way. I'm just gonna go towards them and kill them on the play. Okay. Yeah, that was really, really bad. But it got the job done, you know. I needed 1 bullet remaining in my gun after this area. I have 4, so we're set to go. For like later on in the next chapter, I'm gonna have to use that bullet, and there's basically no way to pick up ammo in the meantime.
There's our boy.
Basically now, up until almost the very late game, there's not gonna be that much precise aiming.
Let's go wrap this up.
Especially not for headshots, because like I'm not gonna be really using the pistol anymore.
Let's be smart.
But yeah, that was like a really, really bad fight. Especially because I didn't have ammo, unfortunately. Okay, so here I'm getting shot at, so I'm just gonna throw the bullet at him. He actually stunned me. That was pretty bad. Sometimes the guy will just let me pass by, which is good because I don't have to pick up the bottle in the next area.
You just want to talk, Robert.
But it's okay. We're again talking about like 2-3 second time saves, time losses.
Go fuck yourself.
That's pretty rude. But yeah, that's Robert. We want our guns, so we're just gonna chase him.
This way.
A little bit of movement here. You can either go through this first door or through the second one. This one's actually a little bit faster. And then stuff happens in this cutscene, and Robert basically ends up being dead.
We gotta get out of here.
And this is Marlene.
You want this
Next character we introduced to. She's actually the leader of the Fireflies, and we find out that like Robert made a deal with the Fireflies and sold the guns to the Fireflies. So we then made a deal with the Fireflies to smuggle something out of the city to get our guns back. Also, this is gonna look a bit weird, but I'm not being a pervert. I just want to get on the ladder as fast as possible. Basically, if I didn't do this, Tess would get on the ladder before me, and I would lose like 5 or 6 seconds.
Do you maybe have some time for another donation?
Yeah, for sure. Go for it.
So we have $5 from our way special guest Urenstein, saying shoutouts to Keta for being a good role model and staying hydrated on a long day. We've got $5 from Anthony Caliber, saying good luck Catalyst, break this game. And we've gotten another $5 from Black Bullet 13, saying just for your information, chat is taking a drink every time you miss a headshot.
Ooh.
So it's your destiny now
That's
to make something out of it.
rough. But thank you guys for the donations. Shout out to Anthony, a guy that runs this game, Grounded Glitchless, which is like quite a bit of a different run. It really is all about taking it methodically and like killing enemies as efficiently as possible. He would just kind of storm through. So thank you for the donation. Thank you to Urenstein for the donation as well.
Let's get moving.
Okay, so we're now gonna approach the bridge, and yeah, Marlene tells me that sneaking is not my style, and I'm gonna show her how we sneak here in Texas, or how we did it in Texas. So I'm just gonna let go of sprint a little bit to allow this next enemy to proceed.
Damn.
Then I'm gonna punch him like this, because that's what you do, right? You just slap them in the back of the head to stun them. I'm gonna crouch behind this box to not get shots, and then I'm gonna use this bottle that I picked up to stun this guy, and then just get into this door, and that's the bridge. So that's how you sneak past enemies, apparently. So this is gonna be another instance where crouch walking is gonna be faster, and normally you have to wait for Marlene, so you wouldn't really save time, but you can get to the checkpoint and then checkpoint restart, and that's gonna save time that way.
Running on fumes. I'll make it.
So we're basically going to the base,
The place is right up ahead.
or not to the base, but we're going to see what we are supposed to smuggle out of the city, and then Tess will go with Marlene to their camp to see if they really have the guns. So here I'm gonna get to this part of the stairs and then checkpoint restart, and I'm gonna spawn here, and that's the stairs that I would have normally come from.
Joel, give me a hand with this.
And boom, there's Ellie, and she's gone again. So we get introduced to the second main character of this game, Ellie, which is basically the thing, quote unquote, that we're supposed to smuggle out of the city.
Down here.
Now I'm just gonna like casually finish this chapter. There's still
Keep up.
little details that I can talk about, I guess, but basically from here on out, it's casual till the end of this chapter. I mean, most of this is casual, just done quickly, really, with some like strats. But as I said, don't worry, there's gonna be speed strats. So first we get this garbage container, and while climbing on it and getting like on this staircase, I actually want to like angle myself specifically, otherwise like slightly to the left and then slightly to the right. Otherwise Joel might refuse to just climb up for like 2 or 3 seconds. And then we get more crouch walking to finish the chapter with.
Yep.
So as I was saying, this is like aim-wise the hardest chapter of the game,
You ever smuggle a kid?
even though there's like no skips or sequence breaks or anything.
What's the deal with you and Marlene anyways?
I don't know.
And as I was saying, since at the start of the game, you really don't want to lose that much time here, so yeah.
You're friends with the leader of the Fireflies. What are you, like 12?
She knew my mom, and she's been looking after me. And I'm 14. Not that that has anything to do with anything.
So where are your parents?
So we're gonna get into this apartment where we are supposed to just wait for Tess. Again, there's gonna be a cutscene, but like, thankfully we can skip all of the CGI stuff from this game.
Firefly. Think it's a bit strange that they're having us.
So now Tess is here. I'm gonna use my backpack to just, basically, you can get into a position if you're unlucky that Tess will like not push this
I just hope there's some.
wardrobe as soon as she can. So I just use this backpack to ensure that I'm in a position where it doesn't really matter. Because you basically lose collision while you're in that backpack. Which we will be abusing later on in the run. Now these generator mini games, very entertaining, awesome gameplay. And I missed, damn. And I missed again. I'm far away from the screen, okay? That excuses me. We did it! Like I had to do it 3 times in a row, okay? That's something.
Girl must be important.
But yeah, that's like, I think the second time ever
Deal with you.
when I missed actually the generator. It was the first one as well. There's like a bunch of them still left. God damn it.
How long is this?
Alright, so coming up might be the first trick if I get it. I'm gonna try to angle my camera all the way to the top as I get on this ladder. And that way I can actually get the prompt from the bottom. We got it. We saved 3 seconds. So the prompts are usually dependent on the camera. And normally you're like supposed to climb up the ladder and then the prompt gets into your camera view. But if I pan my camera all the way to the top as I'm getting on the ladder, I can actually like press the prompt from the very bottom.
Come on, kid. Watch your step.
So doing the outskirts at the start, again, I'm just going to be doing some movement things. First, I'm going to try to get a mini launch here.
It's raining.
Oh, that was like a medium-sized launch. That was okay.
I'm actually outside.
Climbing into this truck, I'm going to try to go sideways and then like climb up at an angle. That will allow Joel to not get stuck when he climbs in and just move immediately. If you just go straight into the truck and then climb up, he will get stuck for like a second because Naughty Dog, I guess.
Follow me.
So in this area, like you're supposed to be like taking cover, as Tess said, and taking methodically, but I'm just gonna rush through and don't really care about what's happening behind me. Here we gotta encounter the biggest launch. This is the one that like the angle doesn't really matter. Just hold sprint and you launch like this. Pretty cool. So now here's a jump. I'm gonna try to delay this jump as much as possible. I can't really see well in the dark, but I actually got it, and that skips a climb up animation. Normally it saves a second. Like the jump itself saves like 3 seconds, and then if you skip the climb up you save an extra second. And we got lucky there. It's like 1 in 10 that you don't get shot there, so that's good. And then checkpoint restart to just warp a little bit. No big deal.
Come on, Ellie.
Again, another area where the game is trying to teach you how to use a throwable object to distract enemies. I'm having none of that, honestly. Like, that's pretty damn slow. I still want to use these throwable objects. They're pretty good in certain situations. I'm just gonna get this brick here while I can, and then just rush through.
Do we quickly have time for another donation?
Yep.
We've got $5 from Lissy saying 3 times in a row, Poggers.
Thank you for the donation. So here I'm crouch walking, not get spotted. Like I can like flash my flashlight on them and they don't see me. But again, I'm not allowed to sprint. And this is the one place where English actually makes a difference, and it's the fastest language, where you can start sprinting when the dialogue is finished, and it gets finished like the fastest in English. Here I'm gonna hug the right side of the tunnel, and that way I fall from a little bit of a higher height, and I can carry a bit of my momentum into this canal. It saves like a second, I think. Oops. So again, a CGI cutscene is followed by an in-game cutscene, which means I'm just gonna skip the next one by checkpoint restarting. Not every cutscene is skippable, and I cannot, like, as you saw me, I have to delay the checkpoint restart a little bit. I cannot do it immediately. Here I'm going at specific angles to get like a bit of a faster animation on each of those climbs. I got it on the first 2, not the third one, so I lost like, I don't know, 0.2 seconds or something. And coming up is going to be the first sequence break actually, and that one is big because it saves 4 minutes, and it's called the downtown skip because it skipped downtown, I guess. And basically I'm going to abuse the terrain where the game will for some reason allow me to hop over the edge where normally there's collision, and then if I aim I'm going to be able to stand midair and get into a semi-loaded area. So I'm going to go around here to get a checkpoint, and now I'm going to try to get this thing done. So I'm going to run out of bounds like this, and now we are in a semi-loaded area where collision is loaded but not the visuals. I'm gonna run into a specific place and then walk at a direction and try to fall through a hole. Okay, and then I pause buffered into a trigger. Because I need to hit a loading trigger for the next area, but if I fall too far, I'm gonna clip through the ceiling that I wanna land on. So that's why I just took it safe and I pause buffered into the trigger. I think I did at least. Can't really see. Okay, I did. So now you see on the bottom the thing spawns. That means the next area is loaded. And then there's another hole in this ceiling which I can drop through, and that just saved 4 minutes right there. What is this hype? It's so late. You guys are great.
Well, I guess 7 if you count. 7.
That's pretty damn good. Like, what the hell?
So, you're a PB.
Alright, so now this is where I needed at least one bullet. I'm gonna shoot the car from a specific spot, which will lure out the enemies that are in the building to the right side. And in the meanwhile, I can just go ahead and push this container. You also see me switch to a brick. That's because if I just have my gun out and then press the prompt, he's gonna put the gun away first. But if I switch to the brick, he's gonna put the gun away and then try to like pull out the brick. But if I press the prompt before he equips the brick, then I don't have that delay. So that's kind of cool. So that worked out well. That's pretty nice. We're gonna get into the museum, and the museum that's gonna be like the first RNG section, which sucks. But again, we're talking about like just losing 5 seconds or something. Not that big of a deal in a marathon run.
So, do we have time for another short donation?
For sure.
We have $5 from Lizzie saying, ND, I guess. I wonder if they're able to emulate a certain game series from 2003 on PS4 properly. Thinking.
I couldn't really hear the donation through the freaking cutscene. Can you repeat it?
Sure.
Please.
$5 from Lizzie saying, ND, I guess. I wonder if they were able to emulate a certain game series from 2003 on PS4 properly. Thinking.
Thinking emoji. I wonder. Right, so what you saw me pick up there was a Molotov and a revolver. Revolver is a pretty damn good gun. And I'm going to be using it later on in the run. And the Molotov, like the way the game spawns items is that it checks how many items or which items you picked up, and then it decides to spawn more or less of them. So there was a Molotov I could have picked up earlier, but this one wouldn't have spawned, and the previous one would like lose time. This one I literally pick up with the revolver, so it doesn't lose time. Okay, so now we're gonna encounter the second enemy type, the clickers. They're blind, and they use echolocation, but they're like really, really strong. However, if I'm out of combat, I can actually stun them with a brick. So I'm just gonna stun him and then run around. If I'm in combat, like if they already noticed me, then I cannot stun them with a throwable object anymore. There's gonna be one dude here. I'm just gonna punch him so he doesn't grab me. And then get in the doors. So come up is the RNG part. And that's if enemies get in my way or not. First I'm gonna punch this guy, and then if they get in my way, I'm gonna have to use the bottle. Why did you stop, Joel? What are you doing? Okay, that was good. That was perfect RNG. They didn't get in my way, I didn't have to use the bottle, and I was able to use the first window, which is like... I mean the second window, which is fastest. So that's cool. Again, picking up the plank at a specific spot, and switching the equipment before that, to maximize the time save. Here I'm gonna put this down at a specific spot again to just save a little bit of time. And your classic CGI cutscene followed by in-game cutscene. So I can get in front of the NPCs. It's interesting that if I checkpoint restarted now, like I would spawn at the same checkpoint, but I wouldn't be able to fast joke, I would just slow joke for some reason. And if you slow joke, you're not able to you're not able to get in front of the NPCs anymore. It's kind of weird. But anyway, this is the final destination. This is the what is it even? Capitol building in Boston. There we go.
Just so it's
Built at the end of 18th century, I think, if I remember correctly. I have no idea about like America usually, but I looked this up to be a bit more knowledgeable about my surroundings.
trying to say things. Yeah, sure thing.
And this is where Fireflies are supposed to be, and they're supposed to pick Ellie up. You also find out one interesting thing that like makes Ellie special is that she was actually bitten, but she's alive. Nothing like happens to her for some reason. So that's why they want to take her to a lab to make research on her, of course. Anyway, you find out that Tess was bitten in the museum in the previous section, and she sacrifices herself. Because there's no Fireflies, there's just soldiers that like catch up to you, and they see you smuggling stuff. Or they see you out of the city, so they just go for you. So yeah, I'm gonna pick up this medkit, and then I'm gonna forget the rifle and then come back for it. The reason for that is because it allows me to skip a cutscene. Like, I think I threw that too low. Okay, I didn't get grabbed, that's good. I threw the Molotov in the wrong place, but it worked out correctly, actually. But yeah, there's gonna be more RNG. The first floor was already pretty good because I didn't get grabbed. Here it's gonna depend on how many times I get shot. Look at these quick scopes, man. Every time I get shot, I'm gonna crouch and then stay crouched for a little bit. That makes the next couple of shots whiff. If I just continued without doing that, I could be able to just die from a stun lock, and I'm on easy, like with extra health, like they can still stun lock you and kill you. So that crouch thing is actually really, really good. So here you're gonna get a confirmation of the fact that, like, you know, Ellie wasn't lying, because you're in the spores right now, like, you know, fungi, you have spores and stuff, and you're not supposed to like breathe in this because it's gonna infect you or whatever. That's why you have the mask. But she doesn't need it because she's cheating. So this area is quite dark normally. Now I'm a bit away from the monitor, so it's not going to be that easy. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to do the first weapon switching soft lock. So basically I can like let go of the movement stick right now and just switching weapons. And that allows me to soft lock my character. And the reason I do that is because it allows me to keep the same speed even out of combat. So I'm in combat, I'm able to sprint, and then I would leave combat and not be able to sprint anymore. But I can soft lock myself and keep that sprint. However, it doesn't, like, I cannot change direction when that is happening, so it's not as good as it might sound. But there's a couple of usages for it, and over the course of the run, it's going to save a bit of time. So now we're going to go for the first pallet out of bounds. There's 2 of them in the run. This one only saves like 30 seconds. And I'm going to use a pallet. Like all of the grabbable objects, like if carts and whatever, they're all really broken, and it's really easy to get out of bounds with them. It only leads to 2 skips though. So first I'm going to do this one. I'm going to get out of bounds like this. Never mind, I guess. Interesting. Hello, game? Okay, cool. Kind of saved it, but I'm surprised that didn't clip me through, because we obviously saw a place that we are not supposed to see. But let me just try this again. And it pushed me away again, damn. Pallet is not behaving right now. Like, sometimes this clip will, like, just fling you away. That's, like, there's not that much you can do about it. But the first one was, like, my fault, really. So I want to move the analog sticks very slowly to just move really slowly. Okay, there we go. Now we are out of bounds. Like, you saw the little flick. You also saw me diving. That's because it's actually faster to just dive than to swim normally. So here we are in the safe water. I can normally just swim in this safe water, but if I leave it, I'm going to soft lock. I'm not going to be able to, like, change my direction anymore. However, if I dive before I do that, the game, you know, takes me as being underwater, and I can actually like go upwards, and I'm gonna hit a trigger that's right above me and end the chapter that way. It also has a side effect of Ellie getting a slick haircut right here for some reason. Like, that's the style in 2032. Like, Naughty Dog.
Do we have some time for some donations?
Yeah, go for it.
So we've got a $5 donation from Urenstein. I've seen every night shift from GSM 2017 and 18. They were all devoid of people, but here we are, 7 people watching a movie with Cutter.
Thank you for the dono, man.
$3 from Boomer. Stop punching those poor clickers, Bible font. And another $3 from Boomer, saying, going out of bounds, I thought this was a glitchless run. Fierce Batman.
What do you mean? Thank you for the donations, guys. I appreciate it. Keep them coming. It's all for a good cause. All right, so... So now we are in Billstown, which is the most random chapter of the game. Not yet, but it's gonna be. So usually if you're like grinding and you want to get a good time, it's really unfortunate if you have to reset before this chapter, because if you get here with a good time, like once in a blue moon, you can just get completely screwed by the game. There's nothing you can do about it. So that kind of sucks, but yeah, I mean, that's speedrunning life. What can you do? So I didn't use the bottle, so I don't have to pick up an extra brick. That's good. You also saw me do a checkpoint restart to warp forwards and fix the freaking haircut. So now I picked up a shift like all the way back in quarantine zone. Also, I just encountered the first sound glitch. That's nice. So I open up the shift door with the shift. It's like very conveniently placed that it doesn't lose any time to open it up and pick up the supplies. And the sound glitch that I encountered, that's basically when I'm too fast for the game doesn't have enough time to load. So then the sound gets glitched until the game basically loads what it's supposed to load. It's usually harmless, except some of the things won't load, which can cause some issues, like enemies will load later. So if you have to kill someone and they spawn later, that loses time. So I'm gonna shoot here to alert the clickers again. I'm not punching them, okay? I just shot in the air. Calm down. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use this soft lock again to keep the sprint into this area. And then around the corner I'm gonna do it straight away again, because the game is gonna slow me down because of this bomb. But I don't give a damn, and I just, you know, soft lock myself to prevent that slowdown from happening. So I got really trolled by this ladder earlier in practice for some reason, and I have no idea why, but okay, we actually got it first try. I don't know what the ladder was doing. So here's another cool glitch that I'm gonna use. Again, as I was saying, the prompts are dependent on the camera, so I hit the prompt midair, and then I get stuck, and the game's engine is gonna teleport me to the closest valid position, which is on the other side. And you may be wondering, like, why didn't you just walk over? And that's because I would have to wait for Ellie to walk over as well, but this forces her to take a different path and climb up some pallets. Okay, so coming up is going to be a skip that I don't want to mess up. It's actually really tight timing-wise. This game, for some reason, has a switch to 30 FPS. Like, you can just switch to 30 FPS, and the secondary effect of that is that certain areas will load slower. I'm going to abuse that with the next glitch, or with the next skip, but I have to be really fast and do like all of the movement optimally, otherwise it's not gonna work and I'm gonna lose 2.5 minutes. Hello? Okay, first we shoot the bomb, then we switch to 30 frames, then we do a ladder skip.
My eyes.
Oh, shit. Those things are kind of awesome.
That's one way to do it.
Okay, please work. No doors? Yes, okay, we got it. So... Did I just get world record or what happened? So normally there's doors here. Also I travel in time because I'm hitting certain triggers, so I travel in time. I'm gonna pick up some ammo, again hit a trigger, come back, and then go. And basically if you open the doors, it triggers a sequence where you get trapped and you have to like shoot enemies for like 2 minutes. And then a guy pops out that's supposed to open these doors that are not here because they didn't load in time. So I'm just able to continue and basically skip that entire sequence. Then I'm gonna switch to, I said, switch to 60 FPS because 30 FPS is like unbearable, honestly. And boom, that's it, like 2.5 minutes saved, easy. All of a sudden there's Bill, like, hi Bill, I guess. And this NPC is the sole basic RNG in this chapter that I was talking about. Like, he's the source of all the evil in this chapter. So first, let's see if we get a jogging or walking Bill. So we have a jogging Bill, that's good. And now get the hell away. There we go, okay. So we just saved like 10 seconds by Bill being nice. So he can walk towards the doors, and then sometimes he will like not get out of the way. And then you have to wait for him to climb the windows, and since he's not the fastest, because, yeah, he's just not, then it's really slow, because you just have to like stand behind him. So I got a little sound glitch there in the menu. That's actually like, that can cause some serious trouble if you get a sound glitch in a menu, because until the sound glitch is done, the game will just not checkpoint restart, so you can just lose time if you get a sound glitch like that. Okay, this fight is going to be kind of straightforward. I'm going to throw a Molotov to a specific spot, and then just shoot these runners with a revolver. And a pistol, I guess. Get that one tap. Alright, that was the fight.
So, do we have some time for some other donations?
Yes, for sure.
Another $3 from Boomers saying, too fast for the game, sounds like cheating to me. And then again, $3 from Boomer saying, world record!
World record hype? Oh my god. Yeah, that's not cheating, that's just real skill, man, what the hell. And maybe some bad programming as well. Yeah. Funny thing is that like I'm running an SSD in my PS4, but it like doesn't change anything in this game. You save like 5 seconds on one load and that's it. Like none of the other loads are affected for some reason. Alright, anyway, we finally get the shotgun, which is like the best gun in the game when upgraded right now. I'm gonna go along the table to trigger toy in the toy box. That's what I said. And then I'm gonna steal all his stuff. So basically, like, you have to go close to the table, otherwise he's not gonna start talking about it.
It shreds anybody standing nearby.
Alright, cool. So this is basically a mine. You put it on the ground and then it explodes when someone walks over it. Not you or your allied NPCs, because video games, I guess. Yes. Like, that's racist against zombies, though. Like, what the hell?
Still sitting there with the battery in it.
Zombie lives matter. So I'm gonna ignore my collision by aiming. And he's gonna clip into me, which looks a bit weird. And then I'm gonna try to wall this. Well, it didn't work. I just lost like 4 seconds. But basically, normally, if I didn't screw it up, I would have been able to wall the window a bit sooner. But again, no biggie. But coming up is something like that's actually cool. So basically, the devs didn't expect you to get through the next area without triggering the enemies. Even if I like stop and then start jogging again, I will sprint automatically. However, in order for the enemies to proceed a little bit, I'm just gonna do a circle. I'm not gonna stop. And then I'm gonna get through here without being spotted. And this animation of jogging is not loaded in the next area. And what happens is, boom. We're just gonna T-pose through this. So the T-pose is really good, because as you can see, I'm not attracting any attentions, and neither are my allied NPCs. So this is like 2 seconds faster only than killing all of them, but obviously you save a lot of ammo.
Hold up.
Take your time, Bill. No rush. So coming up are the next 2 areas where, or 3 in a row basically, where RNG is a big factor. So hopefully no one gets grabbed here. No grab, that's good. Let's see how many enemies are here. I hear 2. How are you not dead? I thought this was New Game Plus. Get off of me. That should be still fine, I'm gonna say. Yeah, okay, well, I lost some time to the grab. That was really unfortunate that he didn't die, but sometimes it can be really bad when Bill gets grabbed over Ellie. If Ellie gets grabbed, you can gamble Bill on Bill actually freeing her up, but if Bill gets grabbed, you have to like turn around and then kill the guy that grabbed him, and it's slow and bad. Thanks for the ammo. Not a sound glitch. Nice. So here I'm gonna do a little manipulation. Basically, there's a load trigger for enemies, and there's a trigger that makes Bill talk about like the gay or wait or whatever. I don't know. But basically, the enemies will take a while to load. But since you're waiting for Bill to finish his talk, they're just gonna load in time. But I went back in a specific manner and hit a deload trigger for the enemies, and then hit the load trigger again. So there's supposed to be enemies right here, but they're not, because they're still loading right now. And that will allow me to like do a setup here that will save me a little bit of time. So basically, I'm gonna use one of these nail bombs. Nice sound glitch. Okay, Bill is not stuck. That's good. There's a dude behind me. Just gonna get rid of him. That was close. Come here. Is that it? Yep. Okay. So that fight was actually like, it was a bit slow because I had to wait for the last enemy, but other than that, it was basically perfect. Sometimes Bill can just get stuck behind a boss, and then you don't see him, and you have to like go all the way like there to be able to kill the enemies that he's fighting. And yeah, this went really well actually. You can get on this ladder before Bill, but then that breaks the next glitch, which is basically just mashing triangle furiously. So I'm gonna climb up this vent box, whatever it is, and then just mash triangle, and that's gonna allow me to enter high school sooner. That's why he's like go, 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 because there's supposed to be like a chase.
Do we have some time for some more donations?
In a minute. Right, so I'm gonna shoot these enemies to not get grabbed. Then I'm gonna set up a Molotov. And then there's 3 enemies left. Kill all of them. Just get in this doorway. So now we're gonna encounter the first bloater. So that's another type of an enemy that I haven't talked about yet. And that's basically like the last stadium. Like this guy has been infected for the longest, and it's your classic beefy, tanky guy. However, he has one weakness, and that's his legs. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my revolver to shoot him 5 times in the leg, and that's gonna kill him. Hopefully, if I don't miss. I don't have that much health, so missing could be a problem. Okay, I'm just gonna finish him with a rifle. Okay, and then I'm gonna checkpoint restart to skip a dialogue. I didn't really lose that much time because I need to wait for the enemies to drop down anyway because they have iframes on the top. I'm gonna check if they dropped anything. They didn't. The bloater did though. Then again, I'm waiting for an enemy to spawn, so I'm just gonna pick up all this stuff. And one more checkpoint restart to skip a dialogue, get up here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and vault this window a bit sooner, which again is gonna save a little bit of time. Like, you're gonna see him warp a little bit. And then there's a ladder right here, and I wanna get it in front. I want to get on it in front of Bill and Ellie, otherwise I would have to wait for them to climb it first. And there's enemies down there and stuff, and that just sucks. Anyway, we get in this house, and there's like a Bill's monologue. So I can just go ahead and pick up all the stuff in this house in the meanwhile, and we can also read some donations.
Alright. We've got $5 from RobyXD. If this is VR pace, just make sure you don't reset checkpoint too early, Kappa. $5 from Jessa saying, The Last of Us is my favorite game and I've been dying to see a speedrun. This is amazing, good luck. $5 from Royce saying, I don't understand why speedrunning this game is not a crime. Catalyst, I kind of hate you, but at the same time, with how good you're playing this, I love you too. $5 from Anonymous without any comment. And $3 from Grapple. Not only did you cheat and remove the precious doors of inconvenience, you're also a giant zombie oppressor. Hashtag zombie lives matter. Thanks everyone for the donations and keep them coming. Oh, actually, we've got another $3 donation from Boomer.
Ooh, what a surprise.
His legs are his weakness. Seems like he skipped leg day.
Leave. Thank you for the donations, guys. Thank you for the luck and for the compliments. So normally I wouldn't pick up this ammo, but I'm gonna do it because I'm a peach. I just want to make sure that everything goes smoothly. So you saw me shoot a clicker as soon as he spawned. What that did is it skipped the first wave of enemies. So I basically skipped 3 enemies from spawning. That's good stuff. Yeah, it was a really good fight actually. Except for the clicker, because I missed the second shot, but that's okay. I have 14 bullets, that's really good. I need like, or I normally would have like 9. So 14 is really, really good. And this is going to be the end of Bill's Town, which... I didn't even say why we visited Bill's Town, so basically we need a car to get to Tommy. Tommy is our brother from intro, if you remember him. And we need to get Ellie to the Fireflies, and Tommy used to be a Firefly, so we were thinking that he might know where their lab is. But we need to get there because he lives pretty damn far. In Jackson City, actually. So we get a car, and this is what happens when you let children drive, I guess. No, we travel through Pittsburgh, and we get ambushed by the hunters that I talked about during the quarantine zone. So this fight that's coming up is consisted of 2 waves of enemies. The second wave of enemies always spawns after a certain period of time. However, if I can kill the first wave fast enough, I can set up a quick kill for the second wave. Also pick up some extra supplies while at it. The quick kill on the second wave will save around 3 seconds. So I'm gonna try to use the revolver here, because it's really accurate. Like, the reticle is really small, so it's pretty easy to get headshots with it. Well, that was not a headshot, was it? Guess the chat is drinking. That is really bad. That should be all of the enemies, though. Like, I used up a lot of ammo, but I should be able to set this up still. Okay, we're gonna get this. There's still a guy alive behind me, okay. I forgot about one enemy. Calm down, let me just deal with these guys first, hello? Where's this guy? Oh. God damn it, okay, that was a horrible fight, but... So I pick up a bottle and then I wait. Basically what the quick kill would have allowed me to do is I would have gotten out of combat sooner, which is what I want, because I want to restart checkpoint as soon as possible. And I get the checkpoint when I get out of combat. The checkpoint restart skips a dialogue, so it saves some nice time. But yeah, I completely forgot that I only killed 3 enemies in the first wave. Like, again, it's not a big deal for a marathon run, but I would be pretty mad if I was doing an attempt with the intent to PB. So now, basically, what we need to do is get out of Pittsburgh, right? Because like it's controlled by the hunters and it's dangerous, and we don't like that. So there's a smoke bomb down here, but I'm not gonna pick it up because there's again an animation where he's like, that's nice, and looks at it, and that's slow, and we don't want that. So instead, it's actually faster to just go out of my way and pick up the smoke bomb that's up here. I'm gonna talk about the smoke bomb a bit more later on. Just get that smoke bomb and then checkpoint restart as soon as I press the prompt there.
Alright. Here's the bridge. That's our way out of here.
Pittsburgh is it's a pretty lengthy chapter casually because there's like a lot of stuff that I'm actually gonna skip. Like this chapter has the biggest skip in the game in it. It's also the hardest. I got it first try earlier today, so it would be nice if I could replicate that. So coming up are 3 enemies. If I go ahead and just rush them, the next wave will not spawn, which is really nice. So I'm just gonna get up here, shoot that guy, shoot this guy, shoot this guy, and that's it. So if I took a bit longer in that fight, the last guy would have had iframes. Like the iframes in this game are just weird for enemies. Like when they spawn, they don't have them, then they have them for a bit, and then they lose them again. So since I was able to shoot the last guy really quickly, I shot him before he got the iframes.
Yeah, me too.
So in this area, I'm going to use the bottle that I picked up earlier. Gonna throw the bottle at him so he doesn't shoot me, because he has a shotgun, so he would like stun me and would deal a lot of damage. I got shot once, which is kind of like the norm. What was that drop? Well, whatever. Who needs health anyway? And yeah, coming up is gonna be the Pittsburgh skip. It saves 8 minutes, which is quite big. And as I said, it's the hardest skip in the game. Also the last skip in the game, really. So the thing with like sequence breaks in this game is that it's really easy to get out of bounds. Way easier than you might think, as I will show later on when I'm waiting for an NPC. But unfortunately, it doesn't really lead to anything, because if you load an area if you skip something and then load an area, the normal checkpoints would not load with it, so you cannot like regain control and get back in bounds, unfortunately, except for some exceptions. Like I'm gonna talk about it a little bit later on, but now I'm gonna go ahead and try to focus on this skip. So again, you see me going for the pallets. I'm gonna abuse that. Well, technically there's one more sequence break after this, but that one saves like 3 seconds. And it's right away, like after this Pittsburgh skip. So first I'm gonna use this pallet to clip out of bounds, which is the easy part though. That's the thing, this is the easy part. So I'm just gonna move very slowly to make sure that I'm... Well, nice. Good job, Kata. Basically what I need to do is to make sure that I'm not pushing the pallet, but instead turning it, which I didn't succeed at. Move. Why are you pushing the pallet again? That will not work, yeah. Okay, never mind, let's try this again. So this is the easy part, by the way. Forgot how exactly to actually, like, where to put my camera's analog stick. Okay, there we go. Now we're turning it. It's still not going to be enough, but okay, I think I got it. Okay, there we go. Now we are out of bounds. Cool. And again, we're going to be hitting a trigger that's really far this time. Like, the last time I did this, the trigger was right above me, so in a run I don't even aim, I just go for it. here I'm gonna have to aim it quite precisely, and since it's a marathon, I'm gonna like take my time to set it up correctly. So I'm gonna use this shadow that's on the water to line up my head. So this should be fine. Upwards, I think. Now I'm gonna go to the right a bit more. Okay, and now I'm gonna set up the rifle in the corner, like this. Okay. I'm just gonna swim forwards and chill for a bit. And I'm gonna look at the oxygen bar in the bottom right as an indicator of when to start going upwards, when to ascend. And then I'm gonna count the strokes and hopefully hit the trigger. Then there's gonna be okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And go straight. Okay, we got the pause. Yeah, this should work. Okay, let's not be too quick yet because the game can crash, which would be really unfortunate. But basically the trigger is on the grass that's on the bottom. Right now I'm waiting for the area to fully load. Which it did. So now we're kind of floating. And we just hit the checkpoint. And this is first try Pittsburgh skip. Easy. Okay, well, I'm really happy I got that. Like, the pause is also pretty precise because I need to pause when I get the T-pose. If I pause later, the camera's gonna pan out. And since you can deload areas with your camera, it might deload the area and that would be a problem. I could still hit the trigger, but then I would lose a minute and a half to a loading screen. Or if you pause too soon, you don't have the T-pose, and then you have to like pause buffer and it becomes all kinds of weird. So yeah, the pause is like also pretty important, but we did it. And then what you saw me there was like I hit a deload trigger through a wall, and that deloaded the area under me, and that killed Ellie, and it actually like death warped me forwards and saved like 3 seconds. But most importantly, I saved some precious ammo. Now I say precious, I don't really care about most of my guns except for the shotgun. Like, shotgun is the one thing that I care about. And that's only because of the next chapter where there's gonna be a really annoying room that I have to deal with, and there's a bunch of like different layouts you can get. And depending on the layouts, I need to be basically able to deal with everything, and depending on the layout, I might need you to use more shotgun shells. I'm gonna get this bottle. Shoot this boyo, and then this guy's gonna shoot once, then I'm gonna crouch for a second shot. That was actually perfect timing. The reason I crouch is because if I just kept on running, he would stagger me with that shot. Here's a like little climb that saves like a little bit of time. I can just, instead of going around, I can climb up like this. Say like 3 seconds or something. Alrighty, well that's it for the sequence breaks in the run, but that's pretty boo, yes. Report Naughty Dog, honestly, but it was still gonna be using some glitches and mainly like pretty cool strats for fights and whatnot. But first we're gonna meet up with Sam and Henry, my favorite duo. They're actually pretty cool dudes. So I'm just gonna greet them accordingly. So gotta wait for him to open the doors, and then I'm just gonna throw a Molotov as a symbol of appreciation. So basically what the Molotov does, as you could see, the NPC cannot walk through it, so that allows me to just get here and then just go through this area without like having to be stuck behind them. And I would have to be like crouch walking and whatnot. Also zipping is in this game. Boom.
Wait. Everyone be quiet. Get away from the windows.
And yeah, basically Sam and Henry. Henry is the adult, Sam is the kid. They're also basically tourists that got trapped in Pittsburgh and then trying to find their the reminders of their group. They're supposed to meet at a radio tower or something, so basically our goal is to get to the radio tower with them. Also, there's fake Optimus Prime right here, and then there's actually quite a lot of what's the word for it? Mentions of other games from Naughty Dog. Like you have Jack there, then you have Uncharted here. Okay, now I'm gonna get into some crafting. So I'm gonna craft this and craft this. So I crafted a smoke bomb and a nail bomb. Here I'm gonna do a little bit of a precise throw. I basically want to throw it in such a way that it kills 3 enemies. Then I hide behind this truck so I don't get spotted. This guy is not dead. Now he is. So the reason I don't want to trigger an alert there is so these guys stay in the building. Then I'm gonna go ahead and headshot this guy. And then use bottle strats. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this bottle to stun him. Then I'm gonna grab him. And I'm gonna keep combat status that way, and that's gonna manipulate Henry into sprinting here. He's not gonna get stuck behind the kids, which can sometimes happen. Then I'm gonna get rid of the enemy, and yeah, that was bottle strats. That worked out pretty well. Checkpoint restart again to get the kids here and skip a dialogue. And coming up is gonna be pretty cool fight. Earlier in practice, I couldn't really do it because I screwed up my crafting and I didn't have the right resources to do it. So hopefully I don't mess it up this time. Now that I actually have the nail bomb that I need. So there's going to be like 10 enemies, but optimally I'm only going to shoot 3 and then kill 7 enemies with a bomb and a Molotov. Yeah, I have 9 shotgun shells, that's really good. I have 3 rifle shots, that's not that great, because I'm going to... Yeah, I don't have revolver ammo, which also sucks. Because there's one enemy that I have to shoot from a distance, but I guess I'm just gonna have to use a pistol. I can clip through there with the melee attack, but it's really precise and saves like a second and a half.
Okay. You tried this before?
So, I'm gonna go into this room, which for some reason triggers Henry to jog. I need him to open the next door. Also the way memes, hehe. And I'm still gonna wanna go to the doors, and I'm gonna use my magical backpack to ignore collision again. And clip through the doors sooner. Like this. Hello, enemies. Okay, so shoot this guy. This guy. Now bomb is gonna go... I got shots that might actually screw it up. I think that still should be good. Okay, I didn't burn that guy because I threw the Molotov too late, but that's it. Okay, that was still a really good fight. So I had to shoot 4 enemies, but I killed 6 people with the bomb and the Molotov. Like if I threw the Molotov a bit quicker, I would have still killed this guy with it. So that was basically perfect except for that one dude. Okay, so I'm gonna use the pistol for this guy here. I would normally use a rifle. Like it's faster to just shoot him myself. I got him, you got shit, mate. Like, what the hell? Like, kill stealing, what is this? So now we're gonna enter a bar, and that's another reference to Uncharted. Because first of all, it's called O'Sullivan's, which is a direct, reference to Sully from Uncharted. And also the layout of the bar, if you've ever played Uncharted 3, the layout of the bar is the same as the bar at the start of Uncharted 3. So that's kind of like interesting to point out, I think. Another thing is like if you look at Ellie's t-shirt, she has like a logo with palms on it. In the remastered version of Uncharted 1, that particular logo is on the jet skis. They're gonna be able to see tomorrow in the race that I have against Exonerus. There's gonna be some nice potato aim here. So first of all, they just stop shooting. Like, why? And then they just miss everything. I'm gonna pick up that explosive, then I'm gonna checkpoint restart because of a glitched camera and enemies. One precise Molotov throw should... I think I messed it up. Yeah, I messed it up. Okay, that's not good. Come here, dude. Okay, yeah, so I screwed it up and I hit the enemy with the Molotov, which I didn't want to happen. Like, if I threw it a bit further, I would have been actually able to, like, kill all of the enemies with it. All the 4. But since I hit the guy... I unfortunately killed only 2 and then had to spend 2 of my precious shotgun shells. Okay, so I'm gonna shoot this propane tank on the ground. Normally there's a scripted event where the enemies shoot it. Can you like shoot it, Joel? What are you doing? You have a shotgun and you miss it. So there will be a cutscene where I like trip and that loses time obviously, but this way I completely skipped like a mini cutscene because I shot the barrel. What I don't like is that I missed the shot, so now I'm only at 4 shells when I was supposed to be at 7. Which is really... it's gonna be tight. Again, it's not the end of the world. It would just be annoying if I was, again, going for a really, really good run. Then if I get unlucky, I will, like, have a bad time. But we can, first of all, get lucky. And if not, I still have my 2 melee charges on the weapon. So basically, the weapon that I have is upgraded. Normally, you have, like, several normal attacks with a weapon. But on top of it, I have an upgrade right now where 3 attacks will one-shot the guy. So, like, as soon as I attack, when I get the first hit in, that will be an insta-kill. You could see it where I killed one of the dudes earlier when I missed the bomb throw. So what happened there is you saw me get ditched by Henry and Sam. But then the only way to escape is to jump into the river, and you would have drowned without them, so they save you. And you become buddies again. And life's good. So I think now's a good time to talk about why the sequence breaks that I did actually worked. So we're gonna start with downtown. Downtown was the first sequence break I did. Downtown skip. And that one works because the checkpoint that loads with the area is a special checkpoint that also loads enemies. So those are hardly tied with the area. So if you load the area, the checkpoint is gonna load as well. Then the next one was the one in the underground section. That one worked because the checkpoint was already there, like the trigger was already there because the entire area was loaded. I basically just, you know, hit the checkpoint from out of bounds, the checkpoint that was already loaded. And then Pittsburgh was the same way as with downtown, like that was a checkpoint that loaded enemies. So you saw me checkpoint restart here. I do that for 2 reasons. First of all, to get fast jokes sooner. And second of all, it makes Henry turn the valve a bit sooner. So that's pretty nice. So as I was saying, you could take these pallets, you could get out of bounds. I did like endless amounts of testing. Other people did endless amounts of testing. And the only thing we figured out was like you could load an area, like the second part of this chapter, but like 99% of the time your PS4 is gonna crash. There was just like 1 recorded attempt where it didn't, and theoretically you could maybe regain control, but that's just theory, and if you crash all the time, it's like irrelevant, honestly. Because again, that place is so far that like the aim is so precise that you will never like be able to hit like a pixel or whatever consistently. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get on this platform, which will allow me to skip Henry pulling me up from the water. I'm gonna get in front of them. I'm being very safe so I don't fall down. Then I'm gonna craft the Molotov here. And then I'm also gonna exit the platform a bit sooner by walking over this control panel like so. So you already saw me checkpoint restart twice. This like chapter is full of checkpoint restarts. There's like 5 of them. So right after I can move here. That was a nice sound glitch. I'm gonna checkpoint restart again, which is gonna skip like a walking section, which is really nice. So how do I want to do this actually? I might want to shoot this first guy with a rifle. Again, another checkpoint restart. So I'm gonna use the rifle. Okay. Then I'm gonna use the Molotov here. Okay. That was not good. Okay, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Because I threw the Molotov too early, so the enemies were still too spread out. The idea is to like you basically have the guy burning in the Molotov, so the game doesn't count him as dead, and you can sprint all the way to this gate. But obviously I had to attack the next guy with a melee attack, so yeah, the first guy burned to his death in the meanwhile.
This is awkward.
Hey, this thing isn't budging, man. Just go, get out of here. Sam, you stay close to him.
Henry, we gotta fucking move!
So this is gonna be the next room is the one that I talked about with the RNG. So just really hope it goes okay, and I don't have to deal with any kind of bullshit. Then, as soon as I can move, I'm gonna checkpoint restart again. And now, let's see, I have 3 shells. That's really not that great, but let's see. So we have 1 clicker that I have to shoot. We're gonna have another one. Don't follow me. Okay, she is following. Okay, well, that's kind of okay. So these women that you saw, those are the last enemy type that I didn't talk about. And they're basically stage 2 as well, just like clickers, but it's like a different branch of evolution of the infection. And these are like really, like, you know, as the name suggests, stalkers. They're really fast, but it's also the only room that we encounter them in, because, like, what? I don't know why. Well, the other, like, areas we skip, but, like, there's not that many stalkers in the game is what I'm trying to say. So you can see I'm really short on resources, but it's okay, because at the end of this part of this chapter, I'm gonna get a lot of stuff. Like, it depends on what difficulty you are on, and since I'm on easy, I'm gonna, like, get a lot of stuff. So I'm not least concerned with anything here. With all those zeros. You have zeros, then you have 2 1s, and then you have a 2 that's breaking the system. Basically, when I'm holding triangle instead of just mashing it, I'm able to pick up more items at the same time in the short radius. So I have to wait for him to come here, then I craft my stuff, and then I wait for him to deliver that line, and that means I can leave. Okay, the pistol is actually empty, so that's not that good. And this fight is not really a fight, so you don't actually have to kill any enemies here. Basically, you're waiting for the kids to free up the next door. And until they do that, there's just a certain timer. Like, you don't have to kill anyone. Even though I am killing people. Not people, but zombies. I'm, like, killing the enemies. But I'm just gonna use a Molotov because, like, I don't really have another place to use it anyway. There's another strat that I could do, but I haven't tried it because it was found, like, after I stopped running the game. Where you can, like, kind of kite these guys and they don't really, they're really slow and the AI gets really confused. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this OP table, and not every table works like this, but they cannot grab me when I'm on top of this table. They can still attack me. So if someone gets close, like this clicker that's attacking me, I'm just gonna get rid of them. Hello? Get away. Okay, that was not very good. Because they, like, surrounded me from 2 sides and then attacked me, so I lost quite a bit of health. Like, I used the 1 medkit that I picked up earlier. Judging by my controller's color, I lost, like, too much HP to be able to save a second by a jump. But basically, there's gonna be a section where I need 5 bars of health, and there's a jump that I can do that costs me 1 bar. So if I'm over 6 bars, then I can do the jump, but I'm gonna be at 5 and a bit, I think.
Come on, let's go.
I didn't really check. Let's see. Yeah, we are basically at 5, so I'm at the perfect HP I need to be at. So Lil Sam, as I was saying, Tommy was boosting me in the intro, you saw that. And Lil Sam is the only NPC in the game that can boost me just like Tommy did. All of the others just clip through you. But Lil Sam decided to be an asshole and just didn't choose the right path. so I could use him to boost me a little bit and say like 2-3 seconds. So to my right would be the jump that I would normally do, but not now. Alrighty, so come up is the sniping section. I just checked out the HP a bit more closer. I'm at 5 bars, which should be like, that's enough for the next section, because I'm gonna be taking some damage here. I like how at a certain point everyone's just gonna turn around. It should be like right now, I think. Like Ellie turns around, Henry turns around, Sam turns around. It's kind of funny. But yeah, so my plan here, Joel's plan is to go around the side. My plan is to just rush through, because I'm a Rambo. And also what I can do is when I'm being okay, I screwed that up. But basically when I'm about to get shot, I'm gonna go sideways. So the shot doesn't actually stun me like it did. See, like, it's not stunning me when I don't, when I'm not just rushing in straight in. Okay, that Molotov didn't deal any damage. That's a bit concerning.
Get him, boys!
Okay. Well, this is not good. This is not good. Let me see if I can get through here without any of them getting in my way. Okay, I just waited for them to get away. Easy. Do we have it? I think we're fine. Okay, that was really slow. I don't know why the Molotov, like, it landed straight on them, but it didn't deal any damage. Well, we made it through without the death. Death would have been a lot worse. Like, I lost like 15 seconds here, but death would have lost like 30, so yeah. Now we get into the Call of Duty section of this run. The first part of the sniping section is not on a timer, so every single miss is gonna cost me 2 seconds. So I'm gonna try to do my best MLG impression right here. Well, nice, Henry. Thank you for shooting him. Okay, this is not going too well. Already missed twice. And now an extra enemy spawned because of it. Yeah, now the cycle is like the enemies are like dependent on the deaths of the others. Like the way they spawn. The time they spawn. So it's like, it's really weird because the cycle got like a bit different. The order got different. Okay, we're kind of on track now with the way they spawn. That should be the last guy. Oh, there's one more. Okay, on the left. My bad. Now look at Henry. Look at this sick hipfire. Get him. Like, what is this? NA aim, bro. I mean, I'm not the one to talk. Like, after Henry shot the first guy as I was trying to shoot him, that kind of screwed it up. Then again, to my defense, I'm playing at 720. I normally play at 1080, so everything looks a bit better. But that's a bad excuse. So this part is on a timer, actually, until the truck gets to a certain point. The only condition is basically for the enemies to be dead for it to continue. So I just have to... I'm gonna try to set this up in such a way that I can kill the last enemy as soon as the truck can, like, proceed further than that.
Do we have time for donations?
Yes, go for it.
Alright, we've got a $20 anonymous donation without comment, and another $20 donation from Land Viking saying, hey, why do you like Jiras more than Ellie? This goes toward Italian in Uncharted, because we all know Italian is the fastest, don't we?
Thank you so much for the donation. For both of them, obviously. But yeah, Uncharted in Italian should be great. Because it's not only got like subtitles, but it's also got voiceover. So that's gonna be cool. If we get that.
Shit. Oh, that was intense.
Right, so that didn't go that well because I missed that guy at the start, but it's no biggie again. There's 2 more parts left to this. The first one is when they get attacked. Spoiler, by the way. Sorry.
We should move.
Also, this is a bit out of sync.
Sam!
He's like he's like Sam, and then he reacts. Yeah, Ellie's a badass. Just kills the other two guys.
Sam, are you okay?
Ellie was actually at first supposed to be like this passive character, like the kid that's like really passive, and then with Ashley Johnson's like performance as the voice actress and the woman behind the mocap, they decided to rewrite the character completely and make it this Ellie that we know and love, honestly. So I think that was a good decision because Ellie is awesome. So here I don't have to shoot anyone anymore, except at the end of the time period where I would like get off the sniper rifle, there's a 7-second window where if you shoot, you're gonna just dismount immediately. So I'm gonna try to set this up with a visual cue and just leave immediately after the shot, as you saw. So I just saved 7 seconds by shooting at a specific point. Okay, so that was the end of that. Now we're close to Tommy's. Stuff happens, and something happened with the, you know, with Sam and Henry. I'm not gonna like spoil all those CGI moments because if you haven't played this game, you definitely should. Like it's really good for the story and for the character development mainly, and not only for that. It doesn't just develop the characters themselves, but the bonds between them. It's really, this game feels like a journey. It's quite magical, honestly. So, the start of this chapter is really good because they just give me 3 rifle shots for free. So I'm like, heck yeah, I'll take that. That's why rifle shots are not as precious and not as important as the shotgun shells. Because you have, from this point on, I was at 0 bullets. But I'm gonna have enough guaranteed income of ammo to basically finish the game with for the rifle. So I did a weapon switch there twice to save me a little bit of time. I was preventing the game from slowing me down while running up the hill. And Tommy's Dam is a weird chapter, honestly, for the speedrun, because the start of it is really boring. There's not that much. There's just RNG where you can lose time. But then the second part is kind of nice because the fights are really good. Where are the 7 people at? Like, what are these traders? Imagine prioritizing sleep.
I need you to...
I know. Step on the fucking pallet.
So again, I would be able to easily get out of bounds with this pallet, but unfortunately you cannot continue because none of the checkpoints would load. But yeah, you could basically save like 12 minutes, or 10 to 12 minutes with a skip with this pallet if it actually like loaded the checkpoint. So I'm gonna set up another weapon switch here over this bridge. And this one is actually like timing wise, I have to like start doing it as fast as possible, basically, as soon as possible. Otherwise I will not make it in time. This should be fine. Okay, that's good. So I know some people would bully me if I didn't do this, so I'm just gonna do that. That one's for you guys. Like, I tend to get bullied for not high-fiving Ellie, so there you go, okay? Like, chug on that, haters.
I know, I am too. Let's get past this place, then we can scrounge up some food.
So now we get to this plant, and surprise, surprise, there's a bro, Tommy, with his wife Maria.
It's been quiet for a few days. What the hell are you doing here?
I thought I'd find you in Jackson.
We're trying to bring the plant back to life.
We had it working before, but one of the turbines went south.
We have electricity, Joel.
There's also one of the coolest guys,
Get it running again.
aka the, hey, thanks, Tommy. guy. I can't do that voice, of course, but it's gonna sound pretty nice. Yeah, that's the guy. So, as I was saying, it's really easy sometimes to get out of bounds. So I'm just gonna come to this box. I'm gonna press the climb button, and I'm just gonna be out of bounds. And yeah, like, nice QA testing. Unfortunately, as cool as it is, it's just as useless. There we go. Thanks, Tommy. So Maria, this is where I was talking about, like, at the very beginning of the run. I was talking about NPCs costing you time while opening doors, and this is the case, what I specifically mentioned. It can basically take a while for Maria to open the next door, and it's just random. And it can take the delay can be from 0 to up to 8 seconds, so you can lose quite a bit of time. And in a category where basically every second matters, see, like what is she doing? Like, this was kind of medium. I lost like 4 seconds. That's okay. But like, yeah. Like, no words. My explanation is this. So the voice actress behind Maria actually auditioned for Ellie at first, and instead they put her into this shitty role with like 2 minutes of screen time. So she was like, okay, at least let me annoy the players. And so they were like, yeah, you will not open these doors. Like, heck yeah. Yeah, you can see the bond has like developed between Ellie and Joel at this point. Like, he's going away with his brother, which obviously someone who he trusts very much. And she's still like unsure when he decides to leave her alone with Maria. So you can see that they really got close at this point. Like, actually, from a story point of view, this chapter is probably the most emotional, at least for me. Again, we're gonna skip the CGI parts that are like the most important, so don't worry about that. But speedrunning wise, it's alright. The next chapter is worse than this one, so I must say as much.
Let me just check on my guys real quick. Come on.
So I'm gonna checkpoint restart to skip Tommy closing the doors. However, if I checkpoint restart where I'm behind Tommy, I'm gonna get a 90-second loading screen. And if I make like 2 extra steps and get ahead of Tommy like this, I'm actually not gonna get that load screen. Like, I don't know what the hell happens here. And then again, more crouch walking. If you're just joining us, or if you haven't heard the explanation, the reason I want to crouch walk is that it's actually faster than just normally walking. And I'm forced to walk here, so might as well do this. It doesn't really save that much time because Tommy needs to open the next doors anyway, but it speeds him up there for like 2 steps or something, so technically it saves a little bit of time, but it's pretty much neglectable. There's also a doggo there, Frank Z, by the way.
These 2 geniuses are gonna bring this plant back.
I'm gonna steal a lunch here. And then I'm gonna steal this El Diablo. Also notice how it's on the shelf, not shelf, but like on the locker, and then it's on the ground. So there's one El Diablo already before the plant, and they like expect you to be smart enough to find it. So there's only one animation for the pickup in the game. Or they were extremely lazy. Now I'm waiting for Tommy again, so instead I'm just gonna go ahead and pick up this thing here. You can see that like I pick up a Firefly pendant, which is a collectible. So I actually missed that room in my casual playthrough. Feels bad, man. So El Diablo is a really good weapon for this chapter because it will allow me to save rifle ammo because it's basically a rifle with a scope. I mean, rifle has a scope as well with an upgrade, but El Diablo like has it by default. And deals a lot of damage. The upgrade, not upgrade, but the armored guys that are going to be in this chapter get one-tapped by that. So it's a really good weapon. So obviously, as soon as we arrive, all hell breaks loose, and this place gets attacked. So first I'm gonna shoot this boyo. And then I'm gonna use the bottle for this boyo. I didn't really have to, I think. Shooting this guy actually makes the next bunch of enemies spawn sooner, for some reason. I don't know why. And here I'm gonna wait for them to spawn, and then throw a firebomb. And they're dead. And you're also gonna see Flash Tommy, so there's Tommy right there, and Tommy is right here. Because why not? I'm gonna shoot that guy with a rifle, then I'm gonna switch to my shotgun, shoot this guy with a shotgun, get this ammo, and then kill these 3 dudes right here. Okay, that guy actually hit. Well, that guy just hit as I shot. Okay. It's not the fastest, but will do, I guess. Okay, this guy, can you, like, move? So I can get this ammo. Thank you. Okay. So what I did there is I picked up some resources, I picked up a bottle, and then I picked up ammo. This checkpoint restart is actually very important, because what it allows you to do is not only that you skip the checkpoints, but, or not the checkpoint, the cutscene, but you also will like warp forward, so that particular checkpoint restart takes like 15 seconds. Quite big, actually. Maybe even like 20 seconds, I would say. So on the basically what happened there is that like Ellie hears something that you tell to Tommy, and because she's a teenager, she just decides to run off. So we go ahead and chase her on horses. On the horse, it's actually really important to use both your movement and camera analog sticks. Because that way you can like steer more and just cut the corners better. Gonna do this fight here. There's like a riskier and potentially faster strat. Like there's a shot I could have taken, but I didn't because safety. I throw a bomb in a specific place. Where's this guy? There we go. Took him a while. Like I throw the bomb from a specific place to a specific place, and that manipulates the last enemy into actually like running towards me, even though it took him a while this time. So switching weapons is basically the same as a backpack, and if you're in the weapon switch or the backpack, you can move in the cutscene there and just get on the horse. No, I got stuck. Okay, that's really bad. Well, whatever. What are you doing? A horse, please. So basically my plan was to block out Tommy so he doesn't block me here, but there was quite a bit of time to that. Like, he didn't block me. But you can see this area not being loaded. That's what I was talking about with the corner cutting. Like I made it through there so fast that the game developers didn't expect you to be able to clear that area so quickly, so that the next area is not loaded in time. It's quite hilarious. Anyway, in the next house there's gonna be 2 waves of enemies, or yeah, or you could say 2 waves. In the upper floor there's gonna be 3 of them, and in the bottom floor there's gonna be also 3 of them. My bad, 2 and 3. So 2 at the top, 3 at the bottom. The main important thing is that, like, if you alert the guys at the top, the 2 guys at the top, the guys at the bottom will actually go ahead and use smoke bomb. Why do I only have 1 Molotov? Oh, okay, I think that's weird. But yeah, I'm gonna use the Molotov here because it's the fastest way to kill them without them noticing me. Okay, I'm gonna have to checkpoint restart because I did it too late. Okay. So you throw the Molotov, then I'm gonna crouch because if a Molotov explodes too close to me and I'm standing, it's gonna stagger me. But if I'm not standing, if I'm just crouching, it's not gonna stagger me basically. So that was Tommy's dam. I'm not sure if I'm missing a Molotov or what. I don't think I am actually. I have one Molotov right now. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I'm confused because I had to rewatch my PB for like some crafting strats earlier today.
Well, we'll head to Central Ground. Should be able to see most of the campus from there.
Do we have some time for donations?
Let me just finish your points.
All right.
And I basically checked the PB. Nice sound glitch. And I saw like that I crafted 2 Molotovs there, and now I was a bit confused that I couldn't. But that's because in my PB I didn't use... Nice area loading, by the way. I was a bit confused because I used a different strat there. So this was caused by the sound glitch, and now I'm just gonna give it away to the donations.
All right. We've got a $30 donation from Land Viking again, saying, I just had a community night with the crew yesterday and we watched SpeedCon 2018. Since then we have a new meme with Cutter actually high-fiving Ellie. Man, this stuff made me really when I saw it. $5 from Roby XD. Don't miss your arrow shot, Cutter, as if you would do. You'll be making a dear mistake, Kappa. And $25 from Kusho. Hey Cutter, huge fan. First time watching, first time donating. I remember you saying that you were running in this marathon, so I thought I would drop by and check it out. Don't forget to high five Ellie and save the frames. Greeting from Austria.
Thank you so much for the generous donations, guys.
Hey, I was thinking I would have wanted to
I'm glad that you're enjoying the run. It's going pretty okay. I didn't really fail anything major so far. Like I lost time like everywhere, but not major time, so it's kind of okay. Anyway, so we got into university, and university is a really fucking boring chapter. Also part of my F word, but it's late. Okay, it's past 10 hours. Kids should be asleep. Yeah, it's really boring. There's not that much that has happened, as you can see. Like I just used the Molotov to clean up the mess there. Also, you know, known as runners. And now I'm just gonna be going through here and just choosing the fastest path and whatnot. So the reason we are here in the university is because we were directed by Tommy. Like he said, there used to be a lab here, or there should be a lab here, a Firefly lab. So we decided to go here. So some other like locations, we're in Pittsburgh, we are in Jackson County, we're in Boston, we are near San Antonio in Texas. Like those are all real locations, but this is actually like a Colorado State University, which is fake. Like this university doesn't exist. So here I'm gonna again checkpoint restart, and I'm gonna skip a cutscene. Then I'm gonna greet this boy with a headshot. And for the first time, I'm gonna show off the power of the smoke bomb. So just throw a smoke bomb there, and I can just pass through. And I guess the smoke bomb is so loud that even the echolocation users that are clickers like lose their eardrums or something. Like I don't know. It's interesting, but it works, so that's what matters. Here I gotta make sure to not like pull out my guns because he's gonna take off his gas mask, and that would be delayed by him actually just putting the gun away first, and that would not allow me to open the doors fast enough. Like this is the chapter where I can, there's like literally nothing going on, so I can just talk about the little details that I do that I like haven't even had the time to talk about, like the thing with the gas mask. Right here, when I put the generator to its designated position, I'm gonna go ahead and manually walk to the left a little bit instead of just pressing the triangle prompt immediately. That's gonna save a little bit of time, because if it just made me walk there, that would be slower than just doing it manually.
Do we have time for a short donation?
Yes.
We have
3 in a row!
We have a $2 donation from Urenstein saying shoutouts to my boy Roby XD, who's donating during every game in my hosting shifts, keeping the runners' spirits high.
Yeah, thank you, Rob. Rob is a great guy. He's a good friend of mine. So, yeah, thank you so much for the support, man. We appreciate it.
Close to the lab.
And thank you for the $2, Urin.
Maybe they're doing the same.
Yeah, I could see that.
Alrighty, so we're soon gonna get to some action, and this action is so great that like I have a chance of losing like 11 seconds to something that's not even my fault. Like I will just get a black screen. We don't really know what causes it. I had a theory, but that was proven to be wrong, so I like absolutely have no idea. But there's a cool thing I can do here, since normally you would like push this off of a hill, right? But since I'm a speedrunner, I'm just gonna do things differently, and I'm gonna pull it like this. And then it's gonna actually take it with me for a bit. And I'm gonna save some extra time like this. Okay. Apparently Joel bought some roller skates on the way to this uni. So as you can see, it's like quite abandoned, right? Like it doesn't seem like there's too much life around here. But we shall see, we shall see.
All right, we're inside. Come on, kiddo, give me your hand.
What do you mean we are? Just you. So here you're gonna, there's gonna be like a frame drop here for like 2 seconds. For some reason it's always there, I don't know why. So for these prompts, those are the ones where I'm just mashing triangle actually. Also notice Joel saying like, let's keep it down. After he just knocked a lamp and kicked out doors, like hypocritical much. So here you're gonna clearly see it. What the prompt is gonna do. It's just gonna warp me to the position where I need to be at, like this. Yeah, I'm gonna do a little weapon switch soft lock again. If you don't know what this is because you missed it when I explained it, it basically allows me to bypass like slowdowns and whatnot because it literally soft locks my character in that state that I am at. I also selected the shorty before I opened the doors. That's because it, if I had like a big gun, if I had a rifle or a shotgun in my hand, he would have to put it away before opening the doors first. So again, just some crouch walking to move faster when I would normally have to walk. And now this is gonna be the part where there's gonna be like 30 seconds of actions, of action. I can like lose time. So hopefully I don't get the black screen. I'm gonna do a little setup here. First I'm gonna kill this guy. If this guy gets in the way, I have to kill him as well. He did. I'm gonna shoot this. That the fire extinguisher acts as a smoke bomb. Like it has the same effect. And then down here I'm gonna just shoot these guys that are approaching me. Or I'm gonna miss. No. Gonna get that shotgun ammo. That was actually really unfortunate. Like I crouched hoping to not get hits, but instead he like stunned me while crouched, which lost even more time. There's no black screen, which is good. And then in that prompt, in that QTE, I'm not sure if you noticed, but there's a point where like Joel's neck kind of snaps, and that's why I stopped mashing. Because if I keep on mashing after that, it's just gonna prolong the quick time event. If I stop mashing before it, I'm just gonna die, but yeah, if I mash more, I'm gonna lose time. So here we are gonna witness a heart attack, which is a bit sad. Basically. And look at this guy, he just runs in and So the reason for this is because for some reason the devs just put the enemies in such a way that like I didn't even have to aim, I was just smashing fire and I shot both of them. And Ellie is supposed to kill the other dude, but since he like already got shot, he just finishes his oh, that shorty up my ass. He basically finishes his scripted event and then dies instantly without Ellie even shooting him. Another cool thing is like I'm on the verge of passing out, like a hole in my stomach and whatnot. But look at his reload speed. Done. Like, that's the upgrade kicking in, like still being applied. Like it's kind of funny. Do a barrel roll. Never mind.
Is there some time for some donations?
Go for it.
Alright, we've got another $5 from Kusha saying, shout out to the guy in the crowd, you're the real MVP here. Please slap Kata on the head every time he swears. This is a Christian stream now. Thank you. And $5 from Glass of Water, Porcelina. Alright.
Yeah, Christian stream, by the way. Don't mind me. Thank you for the donations, guys. Glass of water again. I got bottle of water this time. I'm cheating on my boy Glass of Water. I'm really sorry. But thank you for the donations. I'm gonna try to not swear because I don't want to like die during the stream. That would be kind of unfortunate.
You're not okay, Joel. Come on.
So there's like 3 things left. First, I'm gonna go around Ellie on the left side, which will allow me to get like into the doors a bit sooner. Like she's still standing there. You can see me kind of like clip through her. Oh, never mind, I screwed it up. But basically, I'm trying to get into that scripted event sooner, but I messed it up. Like I lost half a second. Oh no. Okay, and the second cool thing is normally if I just walk forwards, I would stagger to the left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk at a 45-degree angle like this, and then it's going to stagger me in the direction that I'm walking. Because there's like a scripted stagger here. Like that, and just staggers in the direction, so I save a bit of time. And then since I already got a messed up stomach, I'm just going to mess up my foot as well. Boom. So basically, shooting there as fast as possible saves time. So I'm just mashing the fire button, and then he just shoots before he's even aiming. Also, look at this legendary armor +3. Like 14-year-old kid gets hit by a grown man with a blunt object to his shoulder, and then she just picks Joel instead of like having a broken arm or something. Logic. Although this is probably not the most questionable thing of all the things in this game. Yeah, now we're just finishing this chapter. Like, this chapter, for me, is the most boring throughout the speedrun, honestly. Because there's not that much going on. But we're gonna compensate it with the next chapter, which is gonna be winter. And that's, like, the kind of the big finale of every run. Like, after that, everything is easy at that point. Well, not necessarily because there's some more RNG, but winter after Quarantine Zone, the first chapter, is the most difficult chapter of the game, for sure. Because you play as Ellie. You basically turn this game into a little bit of a Tomb Raider. You go into like a solo mission, and none of the upgrades that I have apply to Ellie. So I'm gonna have weapon sway and whatnot, and it's gonna be it's gonna be quite annoying in some points. But there's just a lot of fights, a lot of precise setups. So we're gonna start off the chapter with a deer hunt. That's the Tomb Raider reference that I was mentioning. It's not really a reference, but it kind of reminds me of Tomb Raider at that point, right? Because you have the bow as well. I'm gonna try to set up a quick shot. I haven't actually like practiced this with audio yet, so hopefully I can get it first try. That would be neat.
There he is.
And I hit. Okay, nice. So basically, what I'm listening to is I go around the branch that's on the ground, and then I trigger the deer by just being far enough already, and then I listen to the steps and then delay the shot enough to be able to hit, while obviously pre-aiming to the correct spot with the weapon sway as well. Here I'm not setting up the shots that slowly, but the deer has iframes, so I'm waiting for them to replenish basically, and then I shoot. So yeah, that was good. That's a good start so far.
How are you still alive?
There might be a floating arrow here. Sometimes there is. Because of the early shot that I did, but not this time. Feels bad, man. Oh, yeah, there was actually. Did you see it? Like, it was pretty close.
Everything's cool.
Okay, so we're gonna get into the first of the 2 difficult fights in this chapter. So we meet up with David. And David looks like a nice guy. If you've played the game, you know that's not the case. However, it is the best NPC in the game because every time I run out of bullets, he's going to give me extra ammo. And that's a mechanic I'm going to be abusing in this fight to my advantage. So first, I'm going to just pre-aim these enemies. That's not a big deal. Then I'm gonna shoot out this bullet on purpose. So I have just one bullet left when I shoot this woman. Then I'm gonna get ammo from David. Nice clip. That sometimes happens, but unfortunately cannot really do anything with it. And then she dropped 3 bullets, so I am back to max, which is 9. So that's nice. Okay, let me actually sit a bit closer so I can see a bit better.
Help me with this thing.
Okay, nice. So now there's 5 more shots that I basically cannot miss.
Don't let them come in through the windows. More infected on this side.
Okay, good. Now I'm gonna try to set up some quick aim here. A quick kill. Like just... Okay, I missed. That's fine. I'm gonna focus on this clicker though, because that's like the only guy that can kill me. Like as soon as I get grabbed, I'm dead. So killing that clicker is the most important part of this. Well, I'm just gonna kill this guy and David might take care of him. See, like he even kills enemies. Like none of the other NPCs do that. What an MVP. Okay, that was a decent fight. I just missed like 2 arrows. That's whatevs, honestly. Okay, this ammo there is good. And I have a lot of ammo into the next fight, so that's good. Like that's another important part. Like that's why I do this particular setup with the ammo, so I have as much ammo coming into the next fight as possible. I need to shoot this guy because he would otherwise like get stuck in between the wardrobe and the stairs. And here I'm gonna set up a clip through David's. Hopefully, I'm gonna stand in the middle of these doors. And then with a precisely timed melee attack, I should be able to clip through him. Like so, okay. So that allows me to just sprint here. Normally I would be behind him at this point, so you're gonna be able to see him in the bottom right corner of the screen. Like he's all the way down there. I would still be behind him, so you can see that this clip saves quite a bit of time.
Hey kid, you alright?
I'm fine.
Get out of there!
What are you doing, Nelly? So this guy's gonna get shot. I'm gonna pick up some resources here. Normally you wouldn't really need them, but when I was still running this game like actively, I figured out the strat for the next fight that made it like a lot better overall, where I'm gonna be able to use some of the tools that I can craft and thus make it both easier because I don't have to aim as much, a bit faster, and it's not as ammo heavy, so I don't need to have as much ammo as I have right now. But I do need to pick up these resources now, which obviously doesn't really lose time because I'm waiting for David anyway. So this clicker is on the left side. I could just leave him alive, but it would be a risky strat because I need to put down the ladder here. And then before I drop down, I could get grabbed, so I don't want to do that in a marathon. I'm checking the bottom. You might be wondering why. That's because there's clickers on the other side of this wall, and they can sometimes clip through. So I want to make sure they don't kill me while I'm waiting to get on this ladder. Trigger the dialogue and then steal all of this stuff. Well, it's not really stealing if they're dead, right? So. What? I'm stuck? Hello? Okay. Not stuck anymore. So I'm gonna craft a Molotov. I'm gonna craft a bomb. I'm gonna throw these bombs up there. There's gonna be a bloater spawning at the end, and these bombs are just gonna one-shot him. Then I'm gonna place a bomb down here. And then again, I'm gonna reposition on the couch. And I really don't want to miss the next 5 shots. I mean, I can miss like 1 or 2 without losing that much time, but I don't want to miss the next shots. You also see me cancel the reload animation by switching weapons quickly. Okay, good. So then we're gonna chuck a Molotov there. Later on, the zombies are gonna drop into it and die. At least one of them. I'm gonna use the bow for this guy. Then I'm gonna look back. I'm really fast in this fight since I have to wait here. That guy should burn. See, like he's burning. Guy drops down here. Okay, set up a quick kill on this boil. Shoot this guy with a bow. Shoot this guy with a rifle. Now I have to pick up this bottle. That's actually really important because sometimes David will just decide to not say anything. The here come more line will just not be there and he needs to say it for the enemies to spawn. But if you pick up the bottle, he's just always gonna say it. Again, the Molotov I threw onto the wall, like a zombie dropped into it and died. Okay, that was basically a perfect fight. Cool. I have enough ammo in everything that I need. Like, they even dropped 5. Like, I have max ammo. Like, this is crazy. And now the bloater died, and yeah, that's this fight. This is pretty good winter so far. Not bad at all. Okay, I can just sit back again. There's not that much stuff left, actually. It's going pretty quickly. I'm like, what time is it? 6:30 in the morning? I'm kind of surprised I'm still awake because I've slept like 9 hours in the past 2 nights. You share the same burden? So it turns out that David is a bad guy. He's basically the leader of the bandits that attacked us at the university. At the university, we found out where Fireflies actually moved to, which is Salt Lake City, like a hospital in Salt Lake City. But as I said, we got attacked, and Joel got injured, obviously. So now, yeah, David is a little bit of a psychopath, so he's just trying to get Ellie and be all weird. I'm gonna get grabbed here on purpose. That's because if I basically if I run past any enemy now, that no one is gonna grab me anymore until the next scripted grab. But I can take a different path and dodge that grab, and that path is actually like even quicker. So I take a quicker path and I dodge a grab. Like, it's just, you know, insane value, honestly, on the strat. So on the left side, that guy would grab me, but I can just run here. Now the controls on Callus, the horse, are a bit wonky as Ellie. Like, I guess they try to simulate that Ellie is not as good at riding the horse as Joel is, but it's just weird. It's kind of like the jet ski in Uncharted. Like, they try to make it realistic, but then it just becomes awful to control. I mean, this is not that bad because you don't have to like do any quick turns or anything, but yeah. Okay, there's one more thing basically where I can lose a bunch of time. It's gonna be here. So there's 2 strats for the next area. One is the safe one, and the one that I found that saves like 7 seconds, but it's risky to do. So I'm not gonna do it because I'm basically relying on the enemies to not shoot me when I'm like crossing a ledge. So instead, I'm just gonna take this path through here to not get spotted. I'm gonna go ahead and get this healing item because I can. It doesn't lose any time. And then I'm gonna use bow as a silent weapon. I'm gonna shoot that guy. I'm gonna shoot that guy. And then there's 2 enemies left here. Shoot him. And shoot that guy. Okay, cool. And then I'm gonna set up weapon switching over this ledge. Oh, I didn't do it in time. Okay, let's do this again. And really? Okay, well, believe it or not, that probably still saved like a second or something, because like that ledge is really slow. And the trick to that is that like I was telling you that you can let go of movement stick when doing that. I normally don't do it. I just hold the movement stick anyway. But in this one, it still registers the input forwards, and it will get you sacked on the ledge. So yeah, there's one area left right now, and that's the broken house. There's two entrances into this house. One is behind it, one is like a broken roof. I'm gonna use the roof because it's faster. I'm gonna run through here and then I'll go sprint at two different positions. That's right here and right here. The reason for that is I want to get spotted as late as possible. And like now they're gonna see me and start shooting me, but I'm basically stuck in these climbing animations, so they cannot stun me. Like there's like one frame where he can stun me. Okay, I'm gonna get spotted by this guy. Like I want that to happen because the next guy will come charging at me. And the last guy is a bit random. Let's see where he is. Okay, that was fine. I missed a shot, but it's not a big deal. Okay, that was good. Because sometimes the guy can like hide behind the armchair, and then it becomes weird because you have to like figure out an angle that you need to approach him to be able to see him like clearly. Like, it can get a bit weird. So now we finally play as Joel again. And I picked up some ammo. That was the ammo, the guaranteed ammo for the rifle that I was talking about at the start of Tommy's Dam. So there's two entrances to the house. You can go through the garage, or two exits, or you can go through the front door. The front door is a bit quicker. I'm gonna reload my stuff, and I'm gonna turn on the flashlight. And as soon as it starts to flicker, that means the enemies spawn, so I can sprint for a bit. Right here, and then I will aim and just kill them. I actually hit both of them with the one shot. You can actually get a double kill. Like I once got a double kill there, but you need like both of those shots. Like you basically need both of the enemies to be hit in the head with the upgraded rifle to get a double kill.
Keep running.
I am running. So the guy behind me is random. Sometimes he will shoot you. Sometimes he will just keep on running. This time he keeps on running, so that's cool. Saves a bit of time, you know. Because I don't have to kill him. You can actually, like, if you place a bomb, if you throw a bomb where this guy that's on the ground that attacks you with a knife spawns, he will actually die in the cutscene, then you get attacked by a floating knife. It looks kind of hilarious. I didn't show it off because I want to use the bomb later on in the run. And I only have one remaining. Okay. Now I'm gonna do some checkpoint restarts. There's gonna be two of them in this section, and those are to prevent a soft lock. Otherwise, like I would soft lock. That would be not very nice. I don't know why it happens. I don't know if it's the combination of like the digital version with like the released PS4 that I have. Or, like I'm honestly not sure what causes it, because some runners don't have to do the second checkpoint restart, but it's honestly not that big of a deal. It's like 3 seconds or something. So there might be a guy behind the corner. He is. So I'm just going to use the bottle. That's random. He might not be there sometimes. I'm in combat right now, and that's actually good. Because in the next building, there will be normally like a bunch of enemies. But since I'm in combat, they like panic, basically, and run out. Which is better. I'm going to get through. I'm going to throw the bottle at him. Now I'm just hoping to not get stunned too many times. This is already not very good because I got stunned twice. It's already pretty slow. That's the third one. Now it's not even like battle for speed. It's more like battle for survival. And as soon as I enter the steakhouse, I'm gonna do the second checkpoint restart that I mentioned. So now we're gonna fight David. And on easy, there's like these throwable objects here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up a brick. Then I'm gonna pick up a bottle. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the brick again. And you might be wondering why. So if you look at the bottom right, in this cutscene, I'm gonna lose the brick. But since I swapped the items, the bottle is gonna be right there where I am after the cutscene. Right, so the cutscene ends, and you can see the bottle is like right next to me. So I'm just gonna pick it up, throw it at him instantly, and get a hit. So normally you would have to play this hide and seek game with him, but as I said, on easy you can use these items. This also means that the next item, the bottle, is gonna be closer than it normally would be. Just gonna pick it up. hide behind the table, stab him, and now if I'm fast enough, I can get around, and in this stun I can attack him again, which I failed because I wasn't behind him. I actually died. That's never happened before. Like, what the fuck? Oh my god. Where is this guy? Do I like actually have to play hide and seek with you now? Come here, bro. Okay, we only needed one hit. Okay, that didn't lose that much time then. It was like 20 seconds. But I've actually never died to David before. So my problem there was like, he was in a really weird position, so I was trying to attack him as fast as possible because I didn't want to miss the window of the stun. And I pressed it like too soon before I was behind him, and I didn't get a backstab, and I just got a normal attack and I got wrecked. So I do a strat there. Really? Just don't grab me and we're fine. I do a strat there where I wait behind the car so I don't get grabbed by the enemies that are like coming from the truck. These guys get in the way, so I'm just gonna shoot them.
Is there time for a short donation?
Go for it.
There's $5 from Kusha again, saying, hey again audience guy. Chad wants you to sit on the couch with Kata. I agree with Chad. It would be super comfy.
Of course. What do you mean? May I? What the hell? Of course. So I just got stuck in the corner there, cleaning my mess here on the couch, but that's okay. So what I was trying to do, I was trying to set up, now I feel bad for not offering it actually, like, holy moly. Like, I'm sorry.
You got a donation out of it.
Well, yeah, sellout strats, I guess. Yeah, so I tried to set up a weapon switch there through an area where you normally get slowed down. It saves like 3 seconds. It's really not that big of a deal. Well, let's take a selfie at least then, if nothing.
Can you say thanks to the dude?
Yeah, thank you so much for the donation. My colleague on the couch says thank you.
No.
There we go. It's okay to give up.
No, it's okay to give up.
Ain't no shame in it.
Ain't no shame. You're already going Italian?
I guess not.
Guess not. Just not your style, is it?
She can try begging.
You can try begging.
Boop. Like, this tells you that I've played this game way too much. Not something that I'm proud of, like remembering all these dialogues. Well, rip David. We killed him with that lightsaber machete thing. I say lightsaber because, like, I really dislike the fact that, like, you are in that cinematic feeling, you're crawling to a machete and it just glows. Like, why? Okay, so Joel recovers from his injury and you get to Salt Lake City. And we have like 1.5, basically 1.3, I would say, chapters left. So it's coming to an end. But there's still tons of cool stuff coming up. Also, I'm already saying to the chat, the people that know what giraffe percent is, I'm not doing it because we're behind in schedule and I just want to like, I want to show off the last, like, I want to let the last cutscene play. So just want to save as much time as possible. So even though I'm going to be underestimate, I don't want to, I hope at least, I don't want to waste any time. I also want to go to sleep, so that's that.
Look at that. Another city, another abandoned quarantine zone.
So I'm just, again, like climbing up in specific places to not get slow animations. Here when I'm molting this railing, I can actually like get a launch. There's like no real setup, it's just random. Like you saw me get a mini launch, you can get like a really big one, but it's kind of rare. Like this was like That okay one.
Here we go.
My Discord is like 6 messages. Like, what's going on, guys?
Ellie.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna get the ladder.
Ladder.
Again, like I'm getting bullied for the giraffe percentage, I'm pretty sure. Stop! Like, no! Okay, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these extra resources to be able to craft one last Molotov later on. And then I don't want to stand like under the ladder because I would get like a little cutscene where he's like, whoa, ladder. But instead I want to stay on the side like this, wait for it to drop down. And then I'm going to pick it up from this side. So I want to pick it up like this because it's the fastest animation. I'm also right next to the wall, so I don't have to like walk with the ladder.
You gotta see this.
Like, it's these little optimizations that throughout the run they just add up. Like, you might have noticed that there's a lot of walking sections, there's a lot of cutscenes. So even though the run is quite long, it at this point is like really, really optimized, and every second just matters. Like, I haven't run any of the other categories, so I cannot talk for those. Like, I know that Grounded Glitchless is also pretty optimized at this point. But yeah, this one is like, you know, there's not as much RNG as in Grounded. So you can optimize it easier, and yeah, I would also say it's a bit more optimized than Grounded. Checkpoint restart. Okay, you can check the giraffes here, okay? Just watch them, they're beautiful. Okay, now we gotta get in the cutscene though.
Look.
Is
Again,
there time for a short Furious donation?
Yes, go for it. Oh my god, Furious, I'm scared now.
Yeah, $5 from Robbie XD saying, "You're a monster, you're 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 a monster." Thanks.
Sure. Whatever you say, as long as you support the charity, I'm up for it, then. I'll be a monster all day. No, I'm sorry, I'm just saving the marathon, okay? Okay, I'm gonna set up another weapon switch. I'm gonna store the input for this bottle. And that's just like a really fancy thing to say for a thing where I just press the button and then he picks it up later on. This weapon switch in itself doesn't really save time because I need to be like, I'm gonna be slowed down doing the dialogue anyway. But what I can save time on is I can get a launch here during the dialogue. Like that. So then during the dialogue I'm like able to move quicker for a little bit. So I save like, I don't know, maybe half a second or something. So the weapon switch is not really important. Well, I hope it's not going to be different, because in practice this area went perfectly, so I hope it's going to be fine. So basically this is, there's some RNG involved in the next area, but hopefully it's going to be fine. So first checkpoint restart to again get Ellie here, then as soon as I spawn I'm going to shoot to be able to sprint, and then I'm going to take a very specific path through this area by climbing up at these trucks. So Ellie's gonna try to follow me, which will delay her enough so all of the enemies will be focused on me and she will not get grabbed. That's like the main thing, that Ellie doesn't get grabbed. That will require a checkpoint restart in like a 30-second time as minimum. And the next thing, I'm gonna again abuse the fact that smoke bombs are actually really strong. I'm gonna throw a smoke bomb right there. And let's see if it worked. I hope it did. And I should be out of combat now and able to boost Ellie, which allows me to skip that entire fight. There we go, okay, we got the prompt, okay, nice, that's good. So there's like 2 bloaters, like I absolutely don't have the resources to fight them right now, even though it's easy, like on easy difficulty. I could probably pull it off with like picking up some stuff there, but yeah. I didn't really need to kill him, so it's fine. That this... Really? What's happening? Game. So basically, that crate, when it drops, it doesn't have collision. So I want to run into it, then it warps me on top of it. But I got grabbed at the same time, and the game just became confused. Also, I just dropped into the water. So I was trying to delay the jump as much as possible to skip a climb up. That would save a second, but instead I like lost a second or something like that. And coming up is like the big last glitch of the run. It's quite complex, so I'm gonna try to do my best to explain it. But basically there's gonna be a clicker hidden behind the fence. And you are either able to boost Ellie, and then the clicker like wakes up, or you wake up the clicker before that, but then you're not supposed to be able to boost Ellie. However, with some trickery, I'm gonna be able to do both. I'm gonna boost Ellie after already alerting the clicker, basically. And I'm gonna do that by setting it up like right here. I'm gonna just shoot the clicker and then go straight into this. Okay, never mind. Maybe not. Okay, let's try this one more time. Because this can potentially save quite a bit of time. And it's kind of cool to show off. Again, there's some RNG in this glitch to pull it off correctly. But yeah, I just rushed this way too much. Why is this not working? Okay, one last time. This is worrisome. Why is it not working right now? Huh. Okay, I screwed up again. Well, it kind of sucks, but I don't want to checkpoint restart again. So let me explain what I wanted to happen that didn't happen. It's kind of sad because in like practice earlier, I even got the good RNG, so like everything went well. So I guess again, it's just proven right that like what works in practice doesn't work in runs. So I would have broken the clicker's AI because the game doesn't expect you to like boost Ellie after you already alerted the clicker, which would allow me to do one simple thing, and that is keep the sprint speed like further on. I would keep it here, like you can see me just 360 spinning apparently. But no, you can see me just like jogging instead of sprinting. I would be able to sprint there. Also, dolphin swimming is the fastest, but like I can only do it here really. Because there's a ceiling above me. I can do it later on as well, but this is like the first time that I can actually do it. So I would be sprinting here as well. And there would be some trickery. Because like if the clicker is alive, he's glitched out and he's alive, you cannot like, you can take the ladder that I will take, but you cannot put it down anymore. Unless the clicker is either dead or in the room that you're with, like where you are. If he's in the room, everything will work just fine. And if he's in the room when you put down the ladder on the right side right now to walk over the gap, and he's still in the room, if you do that, then you're gonna be able to keep sprint into the next area as well. Which it overall says like 25 seconds, I wanna say. But for this thing to work, you need the clicker to be close to this hallway behind me. Otherwise, I cannot lure him into this room. So I would have to just go back and kill him while I'm waiting for Ellie to drop a ladder. Which I would still save a little bit of time because I would keep the sprint like to the vents and whatnot. But if he's not normally in this hallway, you cannot lure him in, and then that's rip strat. That's why I have this bomb, because throwing a bomb is the same as like throwing a bottle or something. But yeah, that didn't work out the way it wanted, but yeah. It's like the first thing when it comes to skips that I failed.
Is there time for a short donation?
Of course it is.
Alright, we have got $5 from Kusha again, saying, "Hey again, Cutter and Couch Guy. I would like to ask Couch Guy how comfy the couch is. Also, can he slam the timer button when the run finishes?"
Yes, he can. How comfy is the couch?
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. What's the one missing? So I forgot a ladder.
A headrest.
Oh, a headrest, yeah. Well, the tech crew knows what to get for the next year, I guess. So vaulting the ladder like that is faster than just dropping next to it. But yeah, if the clicker was in the room right now, as I put this down, I wouldn't do this checkpoint restart, and I would be able to keep sprinting the next area. But instead, I'm just gonna do checkpoint restart and then slow jog. So imagine like I would be sprinting here, which would be such a difference. But should have, would have, could have. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. So when you're playing this casually, you think like if you drop into water, it will kill you, but you can just drop in and save time.
Okay, come on, jump.
You're gonna catch me?
I got you. See? You didn't even need me.
Let's get the hell off this thing.
Is that time for another one?
Yes.
Alright, 15 bucks from Darkin King. Please give Couch Guy a blanket. He looks very cold. Please warm him.
Like, look at this, man. These people, they love you. They care for you. I understand. Like, he does hosting here as well. Like, he's such a legend. Did I actually get the soft lock? Okay, I didn't get the soft lock, but I lost a lot of time. So, what I did there was I apparently didn't wait long enough before I started turning the camera, and then I like got this weird glitch where it takes a while for this prompt to appear. Sometimes it will like not appear at all, and then you have to check when to restart. I don't know why it happens. It's very rare, but yeah, so far it seems like this run is a bit special on things that has not happened before, or have not.
Everything you do is special.
Everything I do is special. Wowie. Wowie. Don't make me blush. Alright, more dolphin swimming. So there's one little thing here. I'm gonna be able to hit this huge ass trigger a little bit earlier, hopefully. Never mind, because I got another weird glitch where I cannot like get above the water level. Anyway, this is like the last kind of real chapter of the game, and that's also pretty short. So we're in the Firefly lab right now in the hospital. I'm not gonna spoil like what exactly is happening right now, right? But there's something with Ellie or whatnot, and yeah, Fireflies basically turn into enemies. So I'm letting go of sprint at certain locations to make sure the enemies proceed enough and they don't see me. Here I'm gonna use a Molotov for the 3 approaching guys from the left. Just gotta throw a Molotov, crouch before it explodes, and then just go to the left side and spam triangle. That guy could just like open it right now. Better not, I guess. So here I'm gonna look at the enemies with a flashlight on so they notice me. Normally it's like 50-50 if they see you, but this way it's actually like consistent, which is really nice. And since I have this leftover smoke bomb, which I would have used for the clicker in the strat that I failed, to mess up his pathing, to delay his like, to delay him leaving the room, I can just use it here to get through here, which is nice. So I'm gonna save like a couple frames here by weapon switching. It's really nothing. So now I'm gonna have to shoot a doctor here, otherwise he's gonna kill me. I don't have to shoot the other ones, and then immediately into crouch walk. The ending of this game is really touching. It's like the soundtrack combined with like you going through pediatrics, seeing the giraffes and stuff. It really adds up to the emotion. Also, there's a, if you ever wanted to see like if you haven't seen this Easter egg, go check out that sightseeing not sightseeing but seeing test. There, it's not an ordinary one. Just a little hint, hint.
Come on. Which way? We're okay. We're okay.
Also, Ellie, the only cure for mankind right now. Like, better shoot at them. That's really smart. Alright, well, we're now going back to Tommy's. Back to Jackson. And yeah, there's the path broke, so he just took the battery out. You're gonna have to walk for a little bit. So there's one thing left in this run. And when Rob in the donation was mentioning something about checkpoint restarts, I don't like remembering it, but yesterday, if you saw my Outlast run, I was saying how I got stuck on a table at the end of the game on the world record pace. Literally like 10 seconds before the end. When I first started running this, and I was on my first world record pace by like 6 seconds or something, there's this checkpoint restart that you have to do here to skip a cutscene. And the only time I ever checkpoint restarted too early was that time, and I lost like 25 seconds and lost the record, so... As I was saying, just notorious for losing runs at the end. But that run was trash, and then I smashed it like 2 days after this, so... Just had a good laugh. I waited like really long here to make sure I don't do it again. And the timer's gonna be soon, so you better prepare that button. The screen's gonna go black in like 10 seconds. When I climb up. So it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Well, I have to clap as well for the guys that stayed here with me. I appreciate that very much. Alright, let's just watch this last cutscene since I went on the estimates. This run overall was pretty sloppy in most cases. I'm just very happy that all of the major skips were first try. Because those can like lose a lot of time if you fail them, like 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes. All of the time loss I had was basically from just sloppiness.
She got bit too. We didn't know what to do. So... she says, let's just wait it out. You know, we can be all poetic and just lose our minds together. I'm still waiting for my turn.
Ellie.
Her name was Riley, and she was the first to die. And then it was Tess. And then Sam.
None of that is on you.
You don't understand.
I struggled for a long time with surviving. And you, no matter what, you keep finding something to fight for. Now, I know that's not what you want to hear right now.
Swear to me. Swear to me that everything that you've said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Okay.
Well, alrighty then, that was The Last of Us. Thank you for watching at this late hour for some, maybe not that late for some others. Yeah, I'm supposed to see you 3 more times during this marathon, so hopefully I'll make it. I'll try to die, to not die from being tired. And yeah, coming out next is gonna be Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. So if you guys stayed up already, you should watch the next run as well, of course. And that's gonna be it for me for now. I'm gonna head off to sleep. I'm gonna try to get more than 5 hours of sleep. Have a good night.